What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tyson Teddy Talk, episode 13, I think. Look at Tyson on
14.
the video version. 14, really? 14. Oh, shit. He's playing with his cat. Look at Franklin. He's there. He's feeling better.
Frank, look.
Look at him.
Say hello. Here, come here.
I saw you were playing with the cat, and I was like, it is time for an intro. Look at him. Oh, he's a long boy.
Yeah. He really just lets me do whatever.
Yeah. He's just like, it's fine.
Franklin,
Whatever.
say something.
He's kind of purring. I think I heard
Oh,
that.
yeah, he's purring a lot.
Oh,
There
man.
go.
We heard it for like a second.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. Well, you know what else was exciting? Wanda Vision that we'll talk about later.
We should jump in because they're just.
No, I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh god, that show.
I'm probably gonna make you upset. I just want that to be.
No, I liked all like. This is not a spoiler, but I liked episode 8 better than episode 9.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
8 was really good.
There's some things I'm at odds with some of our friends because they think one thing and I think another.
What? Oh man. Well, we'll talk about it when we get there. I was gonna say, what do they think? What is he doing? I need to get a pet in Final Fantasy 14 that you can put on your shoulder like that.
Yeah, there's some flying ones, some little dinosaurs.
Oh man, that's great. You just slash back in, and then do they stay on your shoulder while you walk around, or just while you're standing?
Sometimes. I can't remember. No, the problem is that they have a name as well, and I don't think you can turn that name off. And so I always don't like them because you try to click on like a quest marker, and you'll click on them,
And then you'll click on them,
and it's just like,
okay. Yeah.
So I never have flying ones anymore because it's just so annoying.
It's been a week. I have no fucking idea where I was last week with that game, but I don't know. I'm still playing it. Update. Still playing it.
I'm
still playing it. Not as much, but still am.
I'm playing it too much.
It's great.
Playing
Finish
it too much.
A Realm Reborn. I don't know. I think I said that last week. I don't know. But I finished A Realm Reborn, the main thing. I moved on to Patch Quest. I'm in the middle of Patch Quest 2.4, which is exciting because I think there's 2.1, 2.5,
2.5 and then 2.55.
That's what I was thinking. I think it's like 5 and then something like an
You
additional
do have that
5
like
or whatever.
2 45-minute cutscenes.
It's fine. I'm excited for that because that'll be change pace. I don't know. I'm down with that. But I'm like I'm about halfway, I'd say, to finishing the Patch Quest, which is very cool. Very cool. I'm having a good time.
Then you got Heaven's Ward, then you got the Heaven's Ward Patch Quest, then you've got Stormblood, then you've got the Stormblood Patch Quest.
I unlocked so many dungeons. That's what I've been having a lot of fun with is dungeons and trials and whatnot. So I was going to do those recently, and then I was like, last night I was just like, no, I need to just do some MSQ and to be fair, I played it for like an hour and a half and went through like basically an entire Patch Quest because I went through like half of 2.3 and half of 2.4. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just keep going. It's good. I need to just keep chipping away.
Yeah,
but it's great.
I don't have any dungeons that are not MSQ related unlocked, like ever.
Oh my god.
But
See,
I think,
I'm all about it.
But that's the thing is like
I just haven't done them.
Especially I don't want to do them on like my level 78 dancer because if it's like a level 30 or 50 dungeon, then it's like I'm not gonna get anything out of it. So I kind of want to like at least I want to get to 80.
It's true. You could save it for alts,
and then I'm just gonna whenever I feel like it, it's like I'll just do those on alts whenever I'm.
That's fair.
Doing that.
And then
kind of
they'd
stuff.
be unlocked.
Yeah.
And then you'd actually get a relevant amount of XP for it.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I want to play Dancer so bad. There's a lot of classes I want to play, but like Dancer is so fucking fun.
Gunbreaker
so
and
cool.
Dancer. Like Gunbreaker I've come to love. Still a little sketchy about tanking, especially in the later dungeons, because in later dungeons there's a lot more tanks have to do stuff during the boss fights. Not really like in between. Mm-hmm. But in the later ones are like, tanks have to do a couple of things and still just like learning rotations for tanks and just like Gunbreaker in general. And
Yeah.
then the outfit. There's like an end outfit. I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but like the end outfit for Gunbreaker looks so good. And but then it's also a craftable. Like you can't get it, you have to craft it. And so I'm like, okay, so I have to level up my armor.
Oh god.
then
Now
I
you're
gotta-
like, oh, I gotta get back to crafting.
Back to crafting, and it's like those. I balance those two, crafting and then some MSQ, and then it's cool. Like this isn't really a spoiler, but
It's okay.
in Shadowbringers, you have before you like you can't finish. I don't think you can finish Shadowbringers without doing these job quests, and the job quest is literally like DPS, tank, and heal. But so it's like it's a different quest. It's a different quest line for each category. And it's actually like a cool little side quest where it's like we're off doing this thing, like the DPS is doing this, and yeah, it's really I really like it. And so I gotta level up a heal now, and that's a little sketchy.
Yeah,
But
I started a healer just because I wanted to have one, but then I was like, well, I'm not gonna dedicate any time to this right now. I will eventually.
I think Palace of the Dead is like the perfect place to learn how to do shit.
Yep.
Because you start with like you start at 1. Even if you're like level 20 or something, you start at 1 and then you're like, okay, I can use this with this and I can use, and it's just like, it's a perfect way to ease into, and it's fast too. Like from like 1 to 20
See,
inside
that's
the
my
dungeon.
only thing. I feel like it would be somewhat good, but you'd have to run it multiple times because it's so fast that you don't really have time to like fully read everything and get your rotation once you get up to whatever. But like if you do that enough on a class that you don't normally play a ton of, then like it'll be a good teacher, you know?
Yeah.
For sure. That's cool.
Just like run with a group of 4 and like go to try to get like as high as you can.
Yeah.
And then just
I
like,
was telling a
de-invoice and
friend
shoot the shit.
before that like one of my original complaints was the fact that like when you go to level and all that's like level 1 or not an alt but like a different class at like level 1, you don't really know where to go or where to start because like zones aren't labeled like 1 to 5, you know, for like side quests or anything like that. And he said that a lot of people do just go over like and start with Palace of the Dead until level 15 and then they unlock leveling roulettes, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's a good,
Well, I think you have
that's
to
fine.
I think you have to be 15 to get into Palace of the Dead.
Oh really? Well then that's not cool, and he fucking lied to me.
I'm pretty sure.
Eric,
Unless it's like you just have to be
Calm
level 15
of
to
the scale.
unlock it.
probably maybe
I'm not sure.
maybe,
Like
yeah.
I haven't tried it on a class that's less than 15. I should.
I'm curious now because that I would like that. That is a nice like you switch over because like I said, when I switched over to a level 1, I was literally just like, I mean, I don't know where the fuck to go. Like I was doing the job quests like for the level each 5 levels, but there were a lot of times where I was like, well, I have nothing, and like my hunting log is done, and I still can't. I don't know. So I
Well, then
guess I'll
there's-
run around and try and do fates, but even then, it's
leave.
it
You do
was-
leave quests
Oh, okay, interesting.
because those are just repeatable. Like you
Yeah.
get so many allowances per day or per week, and so I did that especially for crafting to get them to 20. But you would just go to a leave quest, and you could say like level 10 leave quest rogue.
Yeah,
Google that, and it will tell you like where the leave quest is, and then you just
interesting.
do those leave quests.
How like early can you do them though?
You can do them at level 1, or
Okay,
maybe level
then that'd be
5.
good.
But like
Then
level
that'd be
5
fine.
is like not even a half an hour. That's like
Yeah.
your first hunting log,
Yeah.
and then you just have to run to it, and
a good
it'll probably be unlocked, and then you just do leave quests, and you can just run them over and over and over again.
Yeah. Game still surprises me with how much fucking shit there is in it. I mean, that's why for the longest time I wasn't just doing MSQ. It's like I wanted to see all that there is to see. You know what I mean? I wanted to play some fucking Mahjong, which I didn't do, but I do eventually want
There's
to
so
play
much more
some
to see.
fucking
There's so many more. But
Mahjong.
there's so many cool areas in the future.
It's true,
That's
but
the-
like chocobo racing.
If that's what
There's a
you're-
bunch of cool shit.
I still have yet to go into the gold
See,
saucer.
And that's totally understandable. One of the things I like about MMOs is that we've talked about before of how there is so much shit to do. In a ton of MMOs, there's literally like these side little systems that if you wanted to, you could just do that. Like if you wanted to, like I have absolutely resubbed to WoW just to battle pets before and collect pets. It was great. Like no fucking, like that's not a super normal thing, but you can because it's a whole fucking system. Like, and this game has even more of that than most other MMOs. There's literally like there's Mahjong, but there's ranked. There's a ranked playlist for Mahjong. It's wild.
There's a system.
And like Chocobo racing is a whole like climbing a ladder and like leveling up your Chocobo and shit. It's crazy.
There's a system in Shadowbringers that you can. It's called the trust system, and so pretty much you can run dungeons with NPCs. So you can pick your class.
That's interesting.
And then it fills like with certain people. I'm not gonna say.
Why would you want to do
people.
that though?
Oh man, that's all I want to do.
Why though?
No wait times, and you can just.
I mean, that's
and you
true.
can just like.
It's good for a DPS.
Yeah, it's good for DPS. But also if you're just like, oh, I need to, like, go to the bathroom, like, because some people are understanding, but other people in dungeons just want to run the dungeon like as fast as possible.
Yeah, I have never like if I start a dungeon, I know that like I'm not getting up during this, which is like fucked.
Yeah,
you know, but it is what it is.
It's like if it's a Destiny strike or like. If it's a Destiny strike and something happens during the strike, I'll just stop. Either I'll go to orbit or I'll just stop and they can pull me to the boss or whatever.
But there's the thing about MMOs. I think it's probably the text chat where like I'd never just leave a dungeon. I would never do that. But in Destiny, you're right. I'd probably
no. But that's the thing is like, but there are people that do just do that.
No, I've never had.
Or you get voted out.
Like any MMO.
You can get voted out. So it's like
yeah.
Trust system. You don't have to worry about that. You can take it as easy as you want. You can take it as slow as you want. You can try different rotations in a dungeon, and you get crazy XP because it's a level 71 dungeon. And so like that's cool. I'm just gonna run that. Like you can just run it constantly. Then you eat a meal. That's an extra 3% experience while you're running that dungeon.
Yeah.
It's like that is what I want. I don't want to just like run with people that I don't know that I'll barely talk to. It's like whatever. It's a dungeon. It's not like it's a really needs any.
That's fair.
Again, like, think about the way I play Destiny.
MMOs, the whole point of MMOs is to like play with people.
Is it though?
It's being part of a world, yeah.
I don't know.
You know?
It's the same with Destiny.
I don't know.
Destiny,
like the
I play
very
everything
simple
that I can solo.
It's wild.
Every mission
comes from your JRPG roots.
Yeah. Everything that I can do solo, I will do solo. Everything that I need a group for, like a raid, I'll get a group. Yeah. But other than that, it's just like when it's like, oh, do you want to play the story together? And it's like, no, especially not because it's like
Well, this game specifically is not very well made for that. Like Final Fantasy XIV, in comparison to some other MMOs. Specifically,
I don't know. Again, I don't know because I've never really played the story with people, so I wouldn't know.
People, yeah.
But
no, I mean, like I was saying, I'm not gonna get into it a ton, but like this game very much is for the MSQ is a lot of talking to people and cutscenes and stuff like that. That doesn't really work super great with a group, you know? Like if you're playing WoW or even ESO, which does have story shit, but like you're mainly just going from point A to point B, killing shit, like going through. You're not really, and you can do that with a group. Like those are a little bit more friendly to going through the main story with a group, but like this game, not so much. You'd not really want to do that.
I don't know.
Personally.
I
even as somebody who would do that normally.
Again, I still think like if you like when this new expansion comes out, I think people still will group up and play the story together.
Yeah. Honestly, maybe I will then too. I just don't have anyone to do it with right now, you know, because I'm on my own.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We get into a whole thing if because like I know that you don't like the to read or the talking to
reading
people.
Sucks,
but
bro.
Again, coming from
fuck reading
from playing JRPGs for however long. For like the first JRPGs weren't voiced, so you had to read everything. So when playing the MSQ, it's just Final Fantasy. It's just Final Fantasy. It's a Final Fantasy
Wild.
single player game with MMO stuff around it. That's
See,
literally what it is.
cool. As somebody who has never really played a Final Fantasy game, it's an MMO with a story that is paced differently than most MMOs. So, like, you know, I'm enjoying it. But that makes sense. I got you.
You gotta play some Final Fantasies to like.
I do
really...
still want to play 7 Remake. Maybe I'll just wait until the magical day when fucking somehow a PS5 appears in my house and I can play 7 Remake Intergrade, you know? Maybe that's what I wait
find
for.
a PS5. I got 3. No, I got.
Yeah, it's not available on PS4, right?
4 months.
Yeah.
We never talked about that. I think that is the dumbest thing ever.
Really?
And I think it's a Sony thing. I don't think it's a Square Enix thing because I think Square Enix would be shooting themselves in the foot, like money-wise, if they did that.
You just mean coming
The
out
deal.
on PS5 only.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
You have a
I thought you were
game
talking about the
that
DLC in
started
general.
on PS4, and then a year later, a piece of DLC, not the sequel to the game, a piece of DLC is not available on the console that the first game was on.
Yeah.
That is bullshit. Like, and okay, it would be different. I would be speaking differently if it was very easily available that like everybody could get a PS5 if they wanted one.
Yeah.
But that's the problem.
I will say, I am surprised that in March, it's March, we're still pretty much not there. Like, we're not to where people who want it can get it.
I had one in my
Like-
cart, and then I was like thinking about it, and it like timed out. But like,
You can't think about it. You gotta just go. in this day
but
and
that's the
age.
thing. It's like I'm thinking, it's just so tough because there's nothing to
that
play
remake
right now.
integrate, yeah.
I don't want to play anything
Remake
on it, so I'm
integrate.
gonna have this.
Demon Souls.
I'm gonna but like
Fucking the
still-
Astrobot.
no.
You played Miles on PS4 already, right?
I played part of it. I'll probably get to
There
it, but
you
the thing
go.
is right now it's really just like Destiny and Final Fantasy. I want to get to Final Fantasy and all of the patch quests done so I can play the newest patch when it goes live in
That'd be
April.
cool.
So I've got like a month and a little bit to do. I think it's at the end of April.
Did they say that's when it's doing?
Yeah.
They haven't talked about like when Endwalker's coming out, right?
Well, it's the fall, so it'll probably be like September, October.
Yeah, but you never know. Fall for some people is November, December. Fall for some other game devs are
No, because it'll probably
August
be
or-
the same as Shadowbringers, which I
But,
think was
yeah.
September.
Yeah, but I don't know these things. I'm new to that.
But yeah, so I think it'll be September or October, which is good because Destiny will not be getting another expansion until next year. So it's 2022. It's perfect. I don't really think there'll be any big games, like big service type games, which is good. Outriders is going to come and go, and that's fine. I might wait because it's like
Heard very mixed things.
it's very, I don't know. The writing is terrible, so it's like if it's a single player story game, it's like, oh, that's, and the writing's terrible. That's not good because it's like,
Yeah.
even Avengers, that single player was fucking amazing.
That's literally the one reason why I wanted to get that game was just the single player.
Well, don't get it now because now they're making it harder. We
To
talked about this
level, right?
yesterday.
Isn't it,
Yeah,
like, harder to
it's
level
like,
to
oh, so
50?
you're making it harder to level in a dying game, and it's like, yeah, that's what they're doing.
I
don't
saw
get
a
it.
brief little announcement about that, but I didn't want to say anything because I saw that and was like, "There's no way that's what
They're making
what I'm getting out of
cosmetics.
that is what they're saying." But maybe it is. Maybe they really are
Yeah.
just.
They're making-
What was their reasoning? What did they say?
I don't know. I just
I gotta
remember I
find
just
that.
read the footnotes of saying that like to get to 50, they're making it more. They're giving like more XP. So the bar is higher to hit 50.
Higher. Yeah. Interesting.
And it's like, but why? You don't have any buffs. So say I have one character at 50. But the thing is all the characters level independently.
yeah.
All of their gear is independently. Everything is independently. But if you get a character to 50, you don't get a boost, you don't get a buff, you don't get anything to level another character.
14 spoils us, you know?
It does, but it's just like, that makes sense though. It makes you want to do that.
That's true.
It incentivizes you running another class because you're like, oh, it's faster to level. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot.
This is what they said. I found their reasoning here, which is interesting, but it says the current XP curve isn't really a curve at all. In most RPGs, the amount of XP you need to level up increases as you gain levels in a curve, but our system is a straight line. This has led to pacing issues, such as skill points currently being rewarded too fast, which may be confusing and overwhelming newer players. We want each decision to invest in a skill or heroic to be more meaningful. Sure, that makes sense, but you can't change that now. Like, you launched the game that way.
Especially,
that's a design from the beginning you have to deal with. You can't. Oof.
For a newer player, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of getting like
Hitting
a
a
whole
wall.
bunch of levels and being like, oh, now I have all of these skill points. Now instead of doing that, you're halting that, and then they have to grind more. Like, the thing is in these games, we grind because we have to. We don't grind because we want to get to the max level. No, to max level.
Sure.
Like, it's just like Destiny. Look at Destiny.
At a certain point, there's always a thing that you don't want to do. But
I wanna be at level like 80. I want to be at the end level so I can play end game content. That's the grind that I want to do. Not the grind where it's like,
not for me. Not always for me. Sometimes.
yeah, like and that's why like
I
Destiny's
enjoy the
perfect.
leveling, but I do like the end game as well more. Like, end game is always better, for sure. But I do like leveling.
I hate leveling. Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
I guess.
That's why it's like, I don't want to do a power level grind in Destiny and then do a pinnacle grind in Destiny. It's just like, it's just too much of doing the same thing to where it's like, I just want to pick and choose what I want to do.
Sure.
And it's like with Final Fantasy, it's all right because you do get a boost, but like, especially with Avengers, the mission structure was very boring already, and now you're going to make me do these boring missions more, and it's just like, no, you already had a huge fall off right when the game came out, and now you're making it harder for people to even want to jump back in. Because people are like, oh, Hawkeye's out? Okay, cool. Oh, but it's going to take me twice as long to level him to 50? It's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. What doesn't make sense to me is their whole, like, reasoning of, like, how it's led to pacing issues. Why would that lead to pacing issues? That actually sounds like it would...
though?
Pacing in getting skills and getting, like, new abilities. That's what they were saying there. But, like... Why would that do that? It sounds like you get them at a standard regular pace. So it's not like you get, like, in a regular leveling system with a curve, you'd get 5 abilities within the first hour. Like with an MMO, you fucking go through level 1 through 5 like super fast, you get all this shit. And you're kind of like, oh, whereas this, you get it at a standard pace, but you don't hit a wall later either. Like fucking Final Fantasy, you kind of hit a wall at 60, right? There's no wall. You just go through a standard kind of pace. Like, that sounds like it'd be better pacing. I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird.
I just think that's either they saw the writing on the wall and they're just like, let's just kill the game. Because
I don't
think
know
about
why
it.
they would do that though. Like with this decision.
But that decision's going to kill the game even more.
Yeah, but they don't. I promise you, they don't think so. Which is weird, but
no, but like
they should know better.
If somebody could try to explain the positive, like I'm trying to see both sides, and I honestly can't see a reason for doing this.
I mean,
unless
they
don't have more content ready for the foreseeable future. That's my one thing is like they probably are like,
that's still a bad decision.
No, it's still a bad decision, but they're like, okay, well, we don't have content for a while, so we have to make them play
Just
more.
keep them in there.
But it's like, keep the what? Keep the 100 people that are still playing. Like, there's not a lot of people playing this game anymore.
I want to know Steam charts for Avengers.
It fell off
I'm
like
curious.
way before Destiny Beyond Light, and it never came back.
Steam charts for Marvel's Avengers in the last 24 hours. Do you want to know the peak?
Probably like 2,200.
674.
Man,
674 in the last 24 hours.
I was giving them so.
You were
much
giving them a benefit of a doubt. Yeah, like that's fair. 674 in the last 24 hours on Steam. And then all-time peak, 28,000. That's the highest they've gotten up to on Steam. And then let's see, hold on. It shows other past
600?
months.
And you're gonna make it harder for people.
Holy shit. Yeah, average players in the last 30 days is 421. In February, 419. And then it goes back to where it's kind of going up. January was 536. December was 888. November was 843. And then before that, October was 1,000. Wait, holy shit. Look at this drop off. September must have been when it launched.
Yeah.
September average players was 7,463. And then October, 1,000. Dropped off 6,000 people. Like, the percentage lost was 80%. 80% lost on Steam. That's wild. Like, Star Wars The Old Republic, I think, has more average players than that.
Destiny
which is
1
like the one
has
MMO
more
that I
average
know has a
players than
low.
that.
Yeah, that's rough, man. And I
sucks.
was the target demographic for that game, and I did not get it. Like
It sucks.
rough.
Like,
oh my god,
Story-
yeah. Star Wars: The Old Republic in the last 30 days has an average of 6,456.
yeah.
In compared to the 600 or 400.
I wonder what Anthem. Well, Anthem's not on
Oh
Steam.
no!
but
Holy
Anthem's like
shit.
a dead game, literally.
Oh, that's so bad.
But you can still play it for now. But
Holy fuck. Okay. Now, like, kind of funny, specifically Greg talks about this game a lot because he plays it and he likes it, right? But, like,
Avengers.
they give this game way too much goddamn limelight. It's done. It's done, dude. No
the funny
way.
thing is, remember all the controversy before it came out, and people were like, "Oh, the console's getting Spider-Man. Spider-Man's still not out."
no,
the game is
and
dead.
it's not going to be. Not going to be.
Like the game
Like,
is
no
dead,
way.
and Spider-Man isn't out. And you chose
such a
people.
bummer.
People chose to buy it on console because they're like, "I gotta play Spider-Man."
It's such a bummer, dude. Like, because that game could have been good. Like, the idea behind that could have been cool, but
Should've
they
just done single
very
player.
colossally fucked that up.
Should have just been like, you know what? We're gonna make a single player game where you can level all the Avengers.
One day when it's $5 on Steam, I'll buy it and just play the single player.
It is the single player is good
Because I did hear that the story was
a good story.
Was cool.
And it's just crazy. It's crazy to think in the Marvel age that we live in that there's a bomb. That there was a bomb like Marvel something.
Yeah,
It's so
like
weird.
they had it all set up for them, and they just didn't do it. Just not at all. Also, fun fact: now that I'm on Steam charts, look at the top games here. Look at this by current players. CS:GO, #1 up there. CS:GO, hell yeah, with a last 30 days average of 742,000. Like 3/4 of the way to 1 million people in an average of the last 30 days. That's wild. Holy shit.
That game still looks boring as fuck to me though.
I've always wanted to play it. There was a time period very recently where I almost got into it, but Valorant came out and I tried that instead because it's
I watched Valorant and I'm like, oh, you can't sprint. I'm like, it's very boring. I don't get it.
There's a
But you know
different
what?
level of
It's great for those people. Same people that play MOBAs, you know, never gonna touch one. But good for you, everybody.
You could. You could.
No,
It's
never
out
going
there.
to.
You should.
It's never going to happen.
You should at least try out a MOBA.
Why?
That's what I always say.
No.
Whenever somebody, well, I mean, maybe not you, probably not you.
I've
to be
seen
honest, but
them, and I'm like, this does not look like fun for me.
something that doesn't look fun can still be fun. You know what I mean? Something
No,
can
but-
look bad, and then when you taste it, you're like, oh, it looks like garbage, but it tastes great.
But also, you can trust your gut instinct and be like, I know I would not like this.
I mean, you're probably right, but
It's
I
just
just
like-
always tell people whenever somebody gets a computer and they're like, and they've had consoles for their whole life, and they're like, oh, what should I play? I'm like, okay, honestly, World of Warcraft and League of Legends.
Not World of Warcraft.
Genuinely should try both of them. Like they are, like legitimately. I mean,
today,
consoles
though,
are a little bit different on
Final
this
Fantasy
now.
14.
Yeah, let's switch that around to Final Fantasy.
For
But
one,
like,
it looks better, like just overall.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Well-
running around in the rain last night, and like my outfit was like getting wet. And I'm like, man, this
Dude,
game is
no,
fun.
I mean the visuals are great in 14, but I don't know if I'd say it looks better because they are very different art styles. But like, that's fair. But it is very pretty. I love the like. When I started playing, I kept being like, "Why is this so pretty?" I feel like no one ever talked about this. Like no
you're
one
not
ever
even-
told me how good it
you're not
looks because
even-
it looks very good.
Oh boy, if you think this is pretty, wait until some of
Like-
the later areas, especially Shadowbringers. Shadowbringer areas are like jaw dropping, literally,
Yeah.
because you're just like, where?
Well-
what? It is so cool. And
Last
like,
night
don't
when
try to look
I
at
was
anything
playing-
before and like actually be surprised, because I didn't, and I was like, man, this you just want to explore. And like there was
Yeah.
a time when I was just like walking around, I'm like, man, this is so cool to like look at. It was insane.
Last night when I was playing, I was in the snowy area. I looked like at the NPCs and they were breathing out like cold air, and I was like, "What the fuck? This is wild!" Like it's pretty great. But I always tell people to play those games because I mean I used to say WoW because consoles don't really have like, and now I guess they kind of do. I mean, they've gotten a lot better about this. Like there are MMOs on console, but like it's still not the same experience personally. Like an MMO on a PC, even if you're not playing with a keyboard and you're playing with a controller or something, like having a keyboard, I think text chat in an MMO is pretty big. Like I think that's a very big, cool fucking feature. Like there's always something cool about like in 14 now, you log on and be like, oh, what's up? Talk to your free company, you know? Like when you go into a dungeon, literally just like there's like an etiquette of like, oh, you have to say hi or like do a little fucking text salute. And then at the end you should say like, thanks for playing or something. It's a nice, like it is a small little thing, but it does have like a sense of community in a way. Like I think text chat is huge in MMOs to like add to the feeling of the world. And I always say that because like MMOs are very different from if you've just played like console games your whole life and never even like stepped foot in an MMO, like you should definitely try one. They're a very different type of game, and I think they're really cool for what they try to do. Like it's crazy. And
very
MOBAs are the
daunting.
same way. I say League as well because it's the easiest to get into MOBA. And like it is a competitive game, so if you've played like shooters or something, you've played competitive games before on console, but like it's a very different, unique style of competitive game. And if you're a competitive gamer, I think you would really like MOBAs, or like you have a chance to. So I think you should try both of those. You know, that's what I always suggest because they're very different.
That and like all of those team fight tactics and those other, it's like that's just not,
TFT.
That is never.
TFT is cool,
I
but
can
that's
sort
still
of understand
relatively
it,
new.
but like I'm just never.
I played
going
TFT for a bit and it was fun, but I'm not good at it. I'm pretty bad at it. So
That's the thing. It's like I
It's
like very hard content and learning from my mistakes in like games like that. I guess that's again a JRPG background.
yeah, I mean
of, like,
you're just not really a competitive type of gamer, and you know that's fine.
no.
But
I like
a lot of
no,
people are.
but the thing is I like
CS:GO over here with the
scoreboards.
700,000.
So it's like if there was a
yeah, but you're not PvP. You're not about the player versus the player. You
I don't
know.
like that. 'Cause it's all
But
there's so many
I
there's
like
too many
both.
variables.
Yeah.
And that's
Sure,
what I
there's
did.
a
That's
lot
what I
of
don't like. It's like especially with Fortnite, it's like there's just so many variables that I just don't.
I mean, Fortnite
like
is
it.
a rough example. If you're not normally like a PvP person, you try and go into Fortnite. That's like a rough game to try and do.
But
that
it's like
with.
it's a low floor, a low what is it? Low entry, low. It's a high skill
It's a
ceiling.
it's a
but,
high
like,
skill
it's a-
ceiling.
But like everybody can like go in and play and like get a kill. So it's like a low
Yeah.
floor, high ceiling.
Especially if you play on Switch.
Yeah, especially
Hop
that.
into the Switch, you'll just
But
fucking
it's just like that game.
get number one.
I don't know. Same with like any BR. BRs are just too random, too many variables that I just don't.
Okay, I'm with you there. Even as somebody who likes competitive stuff, it took me a long time to get to where I even remotely like battle royales, because as somebody who, I mean, my first kind of games that I love was like Call of Duty, like Black Ops, and I got really into the zombies and really into the multiplayer, and then eventually played Uncharted, and then so it's like single player stuff, and then there's my other two like co-op horde mode and competitive loves there, all within like a year. And like Black Ops, that's what I played and had a ton of fun with, was just like team deathmatch or search and destroy or something, which is a 6v6. Here's an arena. Like, this is a map. And I liked it because it was absolutely known. Like, if you played that enough, you knew what was in the game. You knew what other people, you could hear the sound of a gun and know what that was. Yeah. And like, like battle royales, that's why I like Halo 5 too, is it is very much an arena. Like, this is it. Whereas a BR, like, you drop down, if you go down here and other people, like, they could go there too, or just like, it's like thinking about from where I played with Call of Duty, like spawns were part of the knowledge. You learned where people would spawn and you learned the flow of the map so that and that's like the feeling of getting better that I really liked. BRs, that is there, but there is still so much luck. Like, they just can choose to go down right there with you, and then there's 7 people right there, and you just
like,
die.
There could be one gun, or there could be no guns. There could be
absolutely.
a gold. There could be a white. It's just like
and for the longest time, I was like, why do people like?
I can understand why people do though, because they're like, it's the not the gotcha, but like the. What is it? What was
it's
loot box?
If you do have everything
like
line up
in the game, where it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna get. Oh, I got this gun. Okay, yeah, let's go. And then
it makes it so that if everything does line up for you and you do get that win, it's like, holy shit, it's an amazing feeling. But like, personally, for the longest time, I was like, but I don't want to.
Also, I'm again. JRPG. I like seeing my character at level 1 and then like growing that character, seeing the progress and be like, I can equip this. Oh, look at my character. Look at how cool he looks now. I got this. Cosmetics just don't always do that for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I can see cosmetics. Cosmetics are cool, but at the same time, I also want to be like, look at my stats. Oh, look at I got all of these stats, and look at this roll on this gun. It's just like I like the substance of character progression in a game.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, I hit rank 100 and I have all the cosmetics and now I look cool.
Yeah, but that's not why anyone plays those games. You are still on the progression focused mindset. You play those games because they are genuinely fun and you want to get better. Like people League specifically.
People rage at Fortnite all the time.
It's true. You still rage.
They're
at
having a ton
like.
of fun.
You still rage at something you like, but like, I mean, I go through moods. I like so many different fucking types of games that I switch all the time, and it's why everyone's like, oh, so you just gotta fucking stick to one thing and finish it. But like, I don't know, sometimes I get in a competitive mood. Like, that's legitimately every few months, I will just want to play something competitive, and usually my go-to is Halo 5, and now it will not be because I do not have an Xbox. So now, when that mood hits me, I'm going to be like...
Halo 5 will come to Game Pass PC before Halo, what's it called? Legacy?
Infinite. Legacy.
That's probably going to be one of them.
That's the sequel to the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, the Master Chief Legacy.
His Legacy. Oh my god. Yeah. Every now and then I get in those moods. Like, for some weird reason, like, MMOs used to be the same thing too, was I would go and play a bunch of single player games, and then like 3 months later I'd be like, I want to play an MMO, and then I'd hop over and play WoW for like a couple months. And then I'd be like, I want to play something competitive, and then I'd hop over. Usually every now and then, like literally once a year, I'll get the MOBA itch, and I'll go back for like a week. And then I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. Because it's a very unique thing, but I'm also very bad at MOBAs, and I'm not going to get better. So I'm like, well. And MOBAs, the thing is like, Call of Duty I really liked because you could play that. I had a friend who played that game, and granted, he was very good at it. But like, he played, I think it was Black Ops 2. And he was literally, because I grew up in a very Christian homeschooled house, you know, he was allowed 2 hours of video games or TV a day, right? And he played 2 hours of Black Ops 2 every day in the league play,
In a
like
Christian
in the ranked.
household, he played a video game where you kill
I know.
people. Wow,
They
what a
let
terrible,
him. Oh my god,
terrible
dude.
parents right there.
Letting the devil in that house.
God.
Woo! But he played like 2 hours of the league play, the ranked, every day, just 2 hours, and climbed to literally number 1. Like, you can play an hour, 2 hours of Call of Duty or something like that every day and get better and see yourself get better. Like, I got to a certain point in League where I was like, I would need to spend more than like 4 hours a day on this to get better, and I cannot do that. Because the matches are long.
It's the same with Destiny playing GMs. Whenever we went we were doing our GM run, it's like, now I am a better player in like PvP or in PvE Destiny. Not PvP.
Yeah.
For one, PvP is broken anyways. But PvE Destiny, I like think more, and I think about like positioning and
and that's why
my health
like
and stuff like that. And that's why I love
you see
GMs
yourself improve,
because it is just like, it's so punishing. But then when you get that and you like figure out, okay, well, we can do this, and then it works, and it's just like it's so much fun.
And see, I like that too. I like conquering an activity that is PvE as well, like with a group of like figuring that shit out and then getting through it and having like having trouble with it, but you do eventually get that. I like that too, but it is also a different feeling. There's so many different cool fucking feelings and unique types of games that I like. They're all great. Video games are cool. But I like that too. That's
I'm
why
just
I'm
a glutton
enjoying.
for punishment, because it's like, it's the same with all kinds of Souls games. It's like, I'll spend hours on a boss that is just kicking my teeth in, and it's just like, to most people they would be like, this is too hard, I'm going to like over level so that I can come back in and like one shot the boss. And I'd be like, no, I got to the boss at this level. People have level 1'd a whole run of like these Soul games. So if I'm here and I got to the boss, I have to beat the boss as I am.
You have to. You have no other choice.
Yeah, and then when you do, you finally
You're like,
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true, because it's like, but that's,
I mean, you physically do have other choices, but you're just making that choice.
no, but it's just, then it's just like a false
Like, you could
victory.
go in over level.
But it's a false victory then.
Oh my god. You sound like Ninja. You sound like that Ninja.
No,
tweet.
but like, it is just very, very empty.
It's a false victory. I mean, that's fair. I get it. I totally understand what you're saying, but just I don't know. I try to keep you from sounding too elitist because I don't
It's
want
not
people to be
elitist.
mad at you.
It's not elitist. It's just like, I like a challenge. So it's like, if I'm going
Yes,
to
but there
play
are
these
ways that you
challenging-
phrase it sometimes that make it sound like everyone should feel that way or something like that.
No.
Like it's
you
hollow.
Can play, you can play games however you want. I'm the one that is talking, so it's coming from my perspective. So when I play a game, like a Souls game, like a JRPG, I know our friend Jace, notorious for over-leveling, for power leveling. He loves it. And I don't call him out, and I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you didn't really beat the game because you
had a hollow
max
victory
level.
there, sir. It
You're
was
max
empty.
level. It's
a
like
fucking empty victory.
You can play it however you want. You can play it with like Final Fantasy, the old Final Fantasy games. You can play it with cheats on. It's like, that doesn't take away from anything. But for me, when I play these games, if I get to a boss or I get to a situation and I have to beat it, it's like, okay, well, I'm here. I'm going to beat it as I am. And I just think that for me, it just is a better challenge. It's like Vizzy. Vizzy, when we play Destiny content, he will like equip lower light gear to put himself at more of a disadvantage.
Y'all are crazy people.
He does that.
I respect it. I respect
He 100% does that.
But y'all are crazy people.
It's just that feeling of overcoming something at like a certain level, like the contest level in a raid. Where
Sure.
It's just
I just don't know. I just can't. I personally, it's hard to imagine myself ever being in a spot where I have that much fucking time to do something like that.
but it's not even that
Like
much time.
but Vizzy does that because he has done literally everything else he can do in that fucking game.
Well,
You know
it's
what I mean?
because he doesn't play any other games, but that's okay. But no,
Yeah.
he's been playing Maneater, so he hasn't actually been playing that much Destiny this
Hell yeah.
this
There you
season.
go. There you go, Vizzy. But like I know that most people who do something like that do it because like they have beaten the shit out of this and they're like, I need more. I need more of a challenge. But for me, I'm like, God damn, I got so many fucking video games to play. I would like, I don't know. I've never I mean, I wouldn't say never. I would say Destiny 1 is the closest I've been to doing something like that, where it was literally just like, I've done this so much, fuck it, let's do something else and make it interesting.
Soloing things, solo flawlessing things. And it's just like that's the new meta.
I never did that
in Destiny.
Yeah.
No, like now that's the new meta. Is like
People
to
started
be able to,
it in D1 for like I had a friend who always soloed Nightfalls when they would send you to orbit, and we were always like, why? It's like, it's fun.
Like
He's
solo-
like, I spent
people
6
like
hours
Leopard-
on one today.
Leopard solos GMs, and you can't die.
Good for them.
So
Good for them. That's wild.
he's man.
It's
He's
crazy.
a brave man. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I've just always liked that kind of challenge.
Games
'Cause
are
it's
cool.
it's
Shut
a
up.
not a predictable challenge, but like
I mean, it's more predictable than PvP.
more
It is a set
quantifiable,
thing.
where it's
Yeah,
like, okay,
yeah, for sure.
this enemy's gonna come here.
Yeah.
If I go around
they
this
have
way,
patterns,
then I
for
can do
sure.
this. It's just like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Whereas PvP, it's like one match you're up against one person. You try to learn against that one person. Then you're like, okay. Then you go into the next match and that person's not there. And you're like, oh.
I mean,
so-
that's genuinely why people like it, is because it is so like you learning how other people think is like a deeper sort of, look at his eyes. But like, that's why I know my friend Jared, that's why he's like, he talks about, he mainly plays PvP stuff, and he's talked about how he doesn't really love PvE because it is so predictable. And he's like, I want someone who can throw me off, and like I then have to learn like, oh, most people think like this and make this decision, but this person didn't. So this is a new strategy that I have to like learn. I have fucking mad respect to all these people. They're all talented.
There's so many different people. The
all
only thing with
talented.
PvP is like there's always the question of lag.
It's true. That's one reason why I mean, that's why I eventually went to Uncharted at one point when I was really obsessed with Black Ops originally. Like, and that's when I learned what netcode was.
Lag and now cheaters and hackers and DDoSers, and it's just like there's so many of like terrible people out
Call of
there.
Duty used to make me so mad when I would literally die, when I would run for cover and be behind the wall and then watch the kill cam, and on their screen I was not. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I like learned about literally netcode and whatnot. But at a certain point, if you do want to play those games, then you have to just be like, this is part of it. You have to literally, like, it does suck when something like that happens, but like you can't use that as an excuse. You kind of have to just be like, well, I shouldn't have put myself in that position to where I have to use the cover last second. Then you have to be like, I gotta fucking outsmart the game and its flaws as well, you know. But to make yourself not rage, that's what you have to do. But yeah, dude, video games are cool. I've been having fun with 14. I am excited. Oh my god. I'm excited this weekend because I went to, like, I actually spent some time relaxing again. It's great. Woke up. I played a little fucking Minecraft. I really want to go back to Minecraft, man. I fucking love that game. That game's so good. And I
I still
it.
don't know where I have to buy it. Or no, which
that's a
one I
good
have
question.
to buy it. Because like
Yeah,
I think Jace has it on Windows.
See, if
But
I
then-
did it again, I feel like I would do the Bedrock version so that everyone
Java
could
version.
just... No, I feel like I would do the Bedrock version because, which is like the Windows or whatever. Because that means literally if you play on Switch, PS4, Xbox, you can hop into that realm.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. But Java's always ahead. Like Java always has more shit. So I don't know. I'd have to
Microsoft,
look
what
and
the fuck
see.
are you doing? Why not just like
It's weird.
just double the price and put them together. And so instead of
I'm curious.
each version is like $30, just make Minecraft $60. It's so long, nobody really cares. People that
Yeah.
love the game either own
People
it
who haven't played Minecraft at this point would be like, "Oh, fuck it, sure, it's Minecraft.
It's
It's,
a-
one of the
that, or
all-time
it's like
video
it's just
games."
like a full price game. It's like sure.
Yeah, dude,
It's just like
I
it's
fucking
weird
miss that
having
game.
multiple versions of the same game on
Yeah,
the same platform.
and you haven't really played it, right?
Oh no, I played it a lot on PS4.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
PS4
I was
and
like,
Vita. That's
Yeah.
when I played it a lot.
Oh,
But
man,
I haven't
see,
played
you'd
it
have
since.
a blast with it on.
I have it
PC.
on Switch, but I barely touched it.
It's so good, and that's another thing. I randomly every now and then get in the Minecraft mood where I'd love to like play some Minecraft. It's so fun, and there is like a bunch of new shit from the last time that I played. Like there's a bunch of underwater shit. They like updated the Nether, so there's like
They should just
an
do Minecraft
entirely
too.
new material. Oh, I mean they're never going to.
No, but they should like package everything from these two into like the sequel. Put a $80 or put a $60 or whatever dollar price tag
Minecraft
on it.
2.
Minecraft 2.
Oh my god.
People would buy it.
That
Everybody
would
would
be
buy
wild.
it.
They would.
It's literally
People
like
would buy it.
Overwatch. I'm gonna buy Overwatch 2, but also
Yeah,
because
but,
there's
like,
PvE stuff.
There's a big argument that Overwatch 2 should not exist, and they should just update Overwatch 1 with that. But let's see. I'm trying to look at the differences between Bedrock and Java at the moment.
It just sucks.
But yeah,
that,
there's like a whole
it's
update
almost like
to the Nether.
Final Fantasy servers. It just sucks that like, oh, I have to choose which one to buy or I have to choose which server to be on to play it.
Yeah.
And it's like I understand, but like especially with Minecraft, it's just weird that there's these two separate things. And Microsoft owns
It
them
is.
both.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
not on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's really weird. But they bought Minecraft before they made the whole like, oh, all of our first party games are going to be on Game Pass. But it's so weird to think about that it's not still. Like you would have thought they'd go back and do that. But
Like it's been so many
Minecraft,
years
I
now
feel
since they
like-
bought them. So when you think of Minecraft, you think of Microsoft.
Yeah. I mean, specifically when it comes to how you like games and like progression, I feel like Minecraft is great for you because it is very it is drop down. Fucking, you start with nothing, you build yourself up. It's so good. And,
you do have to
I
go
miss
in
it.
with
It's fun.
like a plan every time you kind of play it because I've found times where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna open it up, and then I'm like, what am I gonna do? And you just
But for me-
stand there, and I'm just like, should I do this or should I do this or should I do this? And it's like before I even open the game, I have to be like, okay, I'm gonna make a tunnel. Or I'm gonna search for gold. So like that's gonna be the goal today. Is like I'm gonna search for gold
Yeah.
and something like
Yeah.
that. You need to have
Well,
like some sort of goals.
For me, Minecraft is very Stardew Valley, where like you don't really know what to do, but you go in and then you wake up, you go out of your farm, and you see your crops need water, and then you start watering your crops, and then you remember, oh, it's Tuesday, I haven't given a gift to Abigail, and then you go give a gift to Abigail. Oh, look, there's somebody over here. It's just a loop of like for me, whenever I drop into Minecraft, I'm the same way where I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but if I drop in and start a new world, I'm like, okay, I punch a tree. Like I've played that game so many times that I know the progression loop, which now is different because they added so much shit in the Nether that there's like there's a material that's stronger than diamond. So like there's a whole nother tier that I can do now. So it's like I know the kind of like you drop down, you go wood, then you get stone, then you build a thing in the fucking wall, the fucking hide from the monsters. Like it is, and then eventually when you get to a place where you're comfortable, it is still like, oh, I do still want to make this farm, and then you start making this farm, but I also wanted to add this storage room, and then like there's just so much shit that
I
you
always go for
can
the
do.
underwater house.
I
always
man,
love the-
that's cool. That's
The underwater
exciting.
stuff is so cool.
I never did one.
and I never really like perfected it because like it's taken me so long in game, and then I've just like fallen off of Minecraft.
Yeah.
So,
When
and
was
I-
the last time you played? Because they added a whole underwater update. That
Just
was
probably
like,
but just on Switch probably
it might not
2
have been
years
out by
ago
then.
when I
Oh yeah.
got my Switch. So like
Yeah,
it's
see,
been a
they
long time.
added like there was a big underwater update where there's like if you go underwater, there's a shit ton happening down there. Whereas before it was just kind of like dirt.
I think I've seen
like
a couple
there's
of
so much.
like monsters and stuff underwater, but I don't really remember too much.
yeah, maybe
But
you
I
did
do
play
like-
with it then.
I love making like an underwater place and then like having a tunnel
cool.
connect to like my house up on a hill.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
see, everyone
that's
has
the thing.
like a little system, you know what I mean? And you develop that. I always make like the standard kind of house, which I'm improving on the decorations. And then I always make in the corner of the house a little like tunnel down with a ladder and like a little trap door. And then you go down there, and then I have like just an aisle of like, here's a storage room, here's a potion room, here is an enchantment table. Like I have like a little like workshop down there. But on the outside it's like this nice little house, but it's all
Back on the
underground.
PS3
That's
and
my
PS4
system.
days, I used to like that's when I was really playing it, and I remember like doing enchantment table stuff, and
Yeah,
like, all
yeah.
that information is like gone from my brain. It's been so
See,
long.
I literally don't think I've ever like beaten the Ender Dragon. Like
No,
we've
I never have
gotten
either.
really close multiple times because I always go in with a friend or with friends. I go into a server and we make a whole server, and then we kind of like build ourselves up, and we get to the point where we go into the Nether, we got diamond shit, we got enchanted shit. We always make a fucking XP farm, so we have everything enchanted to the best thing, and then we just never like literally. I think the closest
just
we got
video
was where we
games
found
in general.
yeah.
That's like I've
and
always
then
seen
you
that
just
on
fall
Twitter
off
too,
right
where
at
it's
the
like,
end.
you know, when you're playing a game, you're loving it, and then like you get near the end, and then you
then you
just
stop.
don't want, then you stop. You just don't want to
Yeah.
end because you don't
Yeah.
want it to end, and it's just like, it's so weird, and it paralyzes everybody. Like I've done it where I've like played Final Fantasy X for like 50, 60 hours, and I'm like right before the last boss. And I've beaten that boss like how many times? Like over 20 times probably. But
Yeah.
this last time I was just like, I just stopped playing. And I'm like, but why? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand,
Right at
but I
the
just
end.
don't.
Yeah.
I just want to have that save file and just like cherish it.
Yeah, we literally like had found the end portal where you can go to the end, and like we were going to do it, and then we just didn't play.
I
Like, I don't know.
used to copy the world code and put it in a create mode, and then
Yeah,
throw
so
the
you can
ender
fly around.
eyes because I have it unlimited until I
find where
found
it
it,
is, at
and then I
least.
would go back into like the normal world. And I'm like, okay, I
my
know where it
God.
is.
Oh my god! I mean, that's fair.
It's such a
You gotta do
cheat,
what you
but
gotta do. Yeah, like we found it legit. Like I don't know, man. It's crazy. And we used to do Minecraft Mondays like multiple years ago. You know, I posted about this on Twitter today. I think I do want to add some sort of tip goal or sub goal, or maybe literally put like a channel points thing that's like very high channel points. It's like fucking bring back Minecraft Monday season 2. Let's go. And just play Minecraft every Monday for 2 hours. It'd be great.
Minecraft's great. I
Make a server for
really wanna
everybody.
get it. I just don't know.
Yeah,
what
I gotta
get.
get back.
I'm
I gotta
paralyzed.
Do that. I think I'm gonna
Paralyzed
do that
by
soon.
decision.
Yeah. Well, I'll decide. I'll see what everyone wants to do for people who would do that server with me, and then I'll make.
So I think
one.
Jace and Jonah have it on Windows, but then I don't know.
I mean, I have it on Java. I don't even think I do have the Bedrock edition on PC, but like I'd get it. It's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, dude, you know what we should talk about? We should talk about Wanda Vision. I think it's time.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks. Man, I know we got 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Falcon Winter
Apparently,
Soldier.
they're doing like a
Oh yeah, behind the scenes.
like a behind the scenes thing. I didn't know about that. That's exciting.
So at least we
I
get a
will
little bit of
absolutely watch
Marvel
that.
stuff in between.
Yeah.
I watched Doctor Strange last night.
Hell yeah. It's a great movie.
Great movie.
I quite enjoy Doctor Strange.
I like the end credit scene with Mordo taking
Yeah.
the magic powers, and I'm like, man, that was so long ago when you think about
Yup,
it. Like, think of nobody remembers that. I'm like, I
No.
remember it, but I'm like, there are so many, and I just before we get into there's so many little threads that Marvel has started in these post-credit scenes that like by the time that we see something of it, nobody's gonna remember.
Actors-
Like, do you remember
Actor's gonna be
Adam?
so old.
Adam from Guardians of the
That's
Galaxy 2?
Guardians too.
And it's just like, that's a huge thing we're not going to see for another, like, at least 2
Yeah.
years. And it's been forever since Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It is so crazy. And the thing that's even crazier is that, like, they know. Like, the people, like Kevin Feige knows they like, okay,
We
we're
gotta
gonna
trust him at this point, you know.
yeah.
I'm sure he knows.
But he was like, okay, we're gonna tease this here, and it's gonna pay off in this movie, and it's just like, oh man.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Part of me is a little scared for some of those that are so long ago that like genuinely. I mean, think about the. I mean, you rewatched the post credits to Doctor Strange a lot more recently than I have, but like the Doctor Strange sequel is supposed to be like the multiverse of madness. It's supposed to be like multiverse centered. I don't really think like Mordo's gonna be like. It doesn't seem like he would be a huge part of that.
I kind of feel that like he's gonna be the main villain.
If he is, that would be great, and it would pay off with the post credit scene. But like, part of me is like, I could see them just being like, nah, remember that guy? Fucking, we got more ideas.
But if you think about every post credit scene that's like actually had some significance, they have paid off.
I mean, other than these few that we're talking about here, that's the thing, you know.
Well, it's just because
just forget about them.
They were so close to the Infinity War that.
Yeah, wasn't Adam supposed to be a big part of that? Like that was the whole rumor. Like, because in the comics he plays a big role with Infinity War and Endgame.
Oh, I can't remember.
Like I'm pretty sure he's the one that is
but it's like
Adam,
a
huge
huge Adam
part
Warlock?
of it. I think so.
Is his name?
But then everyone started talking about that, and they were like, he's probably not gonna be. That
then
would
again,
be too
at the
soon
beginning
or
of
whatever, but-
the Infinity War comic series, the very first comic, Thanos snaps his fingers. Spoilers.
I actually didn't know that. That's wild.
Yeah,
literally.
He's like
What?
He's introduced, and there's like death with him, and what's the robot? Nebula, I think.
I was about to say
he's
Vision.
and he's like in love. Thanos is like in love with death, and so I don't know if I'm butchering this, but to like show death, just how much he loves her, he's gonna wipe out half of. There's something in there that's correct, and
very
probably
different.
a lot that's not. I don't remember. I haven't read it in a long time, but yeah. So it's like the MCU is taking certain things, but it's not following threads of the comic series.
Yeah, no.
And so that's why there's a couple of things with WandaVision that people are like, oh, but in the comics, this is how
it's
this
like,
is
yeah,
happening.
they don't care.
Also, one thing, shout out to all of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. watchers. Because in the episode on Friday, they were like, what's her name? Agatha starts talking about, oh, it's all in the Darkhold. And there's a whole bunch of people that are like, what the fuck is this book? You don't remember the book?
No, even me who watched S.H.I.E.L.D. did not remember that at all. Now that you say that, though.
So the actor of Ghost Rider just tweeted, he tweeted today, and he's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have left that book under my, there's probably a better place for me to hide that book than under my bed. It's like, sorry about that.
Oh yeah, it was with
the Darkhold. Yeah,
it was with Ghost Rider.
That was the whole with
Yeah,
Ada.
I said, okay, y'all, admit it. Under my mattress may not have been the best hiding place.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's perfect. But the Darkhold, that no human could read it. They would just die if they tried to read it. And then Ada was the one who read it, and then like made that whole.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That whole what is it? The
Ada was terrifying.
What was that
whole
place
arc
called?
with her. The Framework.
Framework, yeah.
Shit,
that was a
dude.
great. That was a great.
That was a
storyline.
fantastic season.
So good. But then yeah, I kind of forget what happened to the Darkhold, and so
No way to know.
it's just weird that like it's back. I thought they destroyed it, but I guess they just gave it to Ghost Rider.
I don't think it's gonna really be part of canon. I really don't think Kevin Feige paid attention or gives two shits about S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, if they're setting up with the Secret War,
Quake?
or no, Secret
Quake?
Invasion. I'm thinking Secret Invasion obviously is the Skrulls because it's a secret invasion, and they're shapeshifters.
Well, I mean, that's the whole like thing, right? It's supposed to be Skrulls and Fury and And
so it's
now
going to be in
Monica.
space.
I mean, spoilers.
Monica's going to go to
Spoilers.
space. We've now seen this. Spoilers. We're getting over.
Okay, you know what? It's
the
time.
final episode.
We're going into WandaVision season 1, episode 9 finale. We're gonna talk spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you can bounce now. If you have, you should stay. But if you are leaving, I'll go ahead and sign off. My name is Teddy Generis. You can find me on twitch.tv/Teddy Generis and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, all at the same. Who knows, man? Maybe I'm gonna start a Minecraft series on YouTube.
You should have a TikTok.
Oh God.
That's what all the kids are doing.
If I was smart, I would,
Yeah.
but I'm not. I don't want to.
Everybody start up a TikTok.
Yeah. It's good advice. Yeah, that's where you can find me. Dude, fucking, we're close. We're close to new shit over there. It's gonna happen, so you should follow.
It's gonna pop off.
That's all. New shit. And where can people find you, Tyson?
You can find me at Tyson Pellegrini on Twitter, at Pellegrini_17 on Instagram and Twitch, twitch.tv/Pellegrini. No, twitch.tv/T Pellegrini. I messed that up because I never stream. So it's just like, who cares? One of these days.
Follow him there.
I should have streamed the 12-man raid, but I think Jace was streaming it last night. I recorded it all, which it took my frames took a hit multiple times, but it was hilarious. One of the funnest experiences, and I really hope Bungie is looking at this and seeing how can we make some kind of content with 12
Is it
man.
basically PvE mayhem?
Pretty much, yeah. There was times when I was just like standing around because it's like there's 2 fire teams of 6. It's like I was like, I'm not gonna do anything in this encounter.
You're like, I don't need to do anything. They got it.
At the 3rd encounter, I was just at the front of the ship, pretending that I was like trying to steer the ship right. I was like, I'm gonna don't worry, I've got this. And it's like we're going down and everybody's running around. God, it's so much fun.
See, you might as well have roles like that because, you know.
Yeah, you got 12 people in there. I think we have one more week of it, and then they're gonna patch it out. Patch it out before GMs. But yeah, you can find me on all those places. We'll see if I do anything with those places in the future.
So, WandaVision finale. Okay. Let's just start with this. What were your general thoughts on the season of television that is WandaVision?
The whole season? Mm-hmm. It's fucking amazing. It was probably up there with, like, I don't know it's tough to rank with movies. But if I had to rank it with the MCU movies, it is definitely in my top 5. I haven't, like, moved it. I haven't, like, really thought of how, but, like, it's there.
Okay. This is why I said I'm probably going to upset people. It was good. It was good. Yeah. I think the ending legitimately shows that they did not tie it super well together.
Are we watching the same show?
Yeah.
Man,
it was fine. It was a good ending. I don't know. I think I had higher hopes for it. I think what they did with the format of the show, and like the first, I don't know, fucking 7 episodes, until like the finale and then the penultimate and then the finale and even the penultimate, I guess, with the format. But like the whole fucking sitcom and the way they did that, super awesome, very unique, and definitely deserves like a lot of praise for that. Like no one's really done something like that, and I think that's really cool. Personally, I don't think that translated to an arc that I loved in the end, but like,
damn,
I still think it was
definitely in the
very
minority for this.
I'm sure I am. That's why it's a hot take. Everyone's like, oh my God, fucking incredible. And I'm like, was it? I mean, Darcy did almost. My main complaint with how it seems like they really didn't tie things together is like, or not that they didn't tie things together, because they did, but that it seems like they didn't fully have a great plan for every single person. Like Hayward, Monica, Darcy, and even Jimmy. In hindsight, completely unnecessary. They don't need to be there. Like, think about it.
What do you mean
they didn't need to be there? They didn't do anything.
Bro.
Like, seriously though, the whole conflict was Wanda and Agatha.
The army, like,
but they didn't need to be. The whole conflict was Wanda and Agatha. That was it. The whole show,
for the final episode,
could have just happened with that. Like, they didn't like. Am I wrong?
Yeah, like very, very much. For one, the show is called WandaVision, so it's going to be about those two specifically.
Yeah, for sure.
These
Absolutely.
are secondary characters who have secondary arcs. We have Hayward,
which
who has had
I don't
a secondary
think really
arc.
Finished an arc at all. Hayward was a completely one-dimensional character.
Yes, but before we see him
nothing.
at the very beginning of the show, and we think he's a good guy, and then slowly.
Come on, it took like two episodes, like 2 or 3 episodes for him to be like, oh, he's the standard, like, oh, jerk of, oh, he thinks the hero's bad guy, he's got to just kill him.
And you see him get
like,
progressively worse.
Oh, but it's such a character that we've seen like a billion times. Like,
I mean, you're gonna have those characters. That's just in any. It's like the hero's journey. You have a hero's journey in every fucking like artistic piece about anything. So you can't say that like, oh, we're always gonna have those kind of characters, because those characters need to be in there.
No, they don't. We do not need a Hayward. We do not need a military organizational dick.
What, it's just peaceful outside, and they're just like, okay, we're just gonna let them do their own thing.
No, I mean, I do, even just the concept of having outside forces, of having like the military figuring it out, adds to the intrigue, adds to like the like trying to figure it out. Like the whole reveal of at the end of, I think it's episode 2, no, 3, when. Oh no, it might have been 4. I don't know. Where we figure out that like Darcy is the one like watching at the end credits. Super cool, right? Like the whole tying all that together, I think that's an awesome concept. But the characters in and of themselves, like Monica stopped some bullets. Darcy hit Hayward with a truck. Darcy had like one line in the. Darcy wasn't even in the fucking finale.
Yeah, but let's be fair. Darcy's always been like a tertiary character.
But that doesn't, not in the show. Like she's proportional.
She was in like 3 episodes of a 9-episode show.
Was she not in like most of the ones where they were in the outside? Or where they
it was mostly
showed
Monica
the outside?
and Jimmy.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I just pictured all 3 of them as a group, but she did kind of peace out at one point. But she went into the Hex, so she was there even in those episodes. She was
still not really like. She's still a tertiary character. She's not even a secondary character. And it's like, I love Darcy, and I love that actress, and I would like to see that character maybe progress into something more, not with powers, but something else. But like, you're not
just be there more.
It's literally just like what's her face, Kobe Smulders, as Maria Hill. Maria Hill starts off so tertiary that she barely has lines, and then
I guess
she's
I expect
like
more from a TV show. When it comes to characters, I expect more from a TV show when it comes to characters. Like, think about S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, I know that the end of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the end of the series, you know what I mean? But like each character
episodes.
gets
You're
at least
that to 9.
But I'm not even saying like, I don't expect them to get a send-off in the way that all the characters in S.H.I.E.L.D. got a send-off, but I expect them to get a finished arc, like of some sort of consequence. And I feel like most of them didn't. Like in this show, I feel like Wanda, Agatha, Vision, even the 2 kids, all had like really good complete arcs. I don't feel like Darcy did. I don't feel like Hayward or Monica did, or Jimmy. Jimmy maybe, I don't know, but like I don't feel like any of them really did. And that's fine.
I disagree, but yeah, that's just weird that. Like you said, if they weren't there and it's just about them in the Hex, and then it's just that's it.
No, and it's not even that. Like, I would want an outside kind of like force. I do want that layer of like the 2 things happening. I think that's cool. But I don't think they ended them well. They were building Monica all this up, like the character, but it really, like, if you look at it from a whole season, Monica really seems like she was just there to get powers for Secret Wars. That's it.
For one, she bridges the gap between Captain Marvel and then yes, the secret invasion. So that is already cool. But
like that's it. Like that, you know what I mean? Like why does that have
then
to
my
be,
question is, what did you
more?
want from her?
I don't know, some sort of satisfying conclusion? Like, instead of just standing for, like, also
like,
maybe
like
having consequences to Wanda.
And it's like, well, how would you like them to act? And you're like, well, I don't know.
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not saying I don't know how I would want them to act. I'm saying I would want a more conclusive end.
But
the end there was no arc. Like, she got powers. Like, she went in, got, like, Wanda, and then her goal was to, like, shock Wanda out of that and to get to her. She didn't really do that. She just kind of went in, like, tried, then got stuck in a thing, and then went over and stopped some bullets.
Okay, so then
and then when Wanda came out, she was like, I know that you're sorry. It's cool. You're off the hook.
She always knew that Wanda wasn't the enemy.
Yeah.
But so then how would you want her arc to go?
I would want her to, like, have some sort of satisfying conclusion and actually completing what she wanted to. I don't know. Actually help Wanda understand what's going on. She didn't. Like, that was her goal. She didn't do that.
She can't help Wanda understand what's going on. Wanda doesn't know what's going on.
I don't know. Yeah, that's fair. That, like, in the reality of the show. But, like, I'm not a writer. I'm a fucking critic. I'm just pointing out what I didn't like. I don't know exactly how to do it. I can't write the end of the show for you. But, like, personally, I think that her arc was not satisfying at all, honestly. Like, my least favorites is Darcy. Darcy did fucking nothing. I mean, that's not fair. In the end, she did nothing. But, she did
Darcy,
very much, like, discover the thing. I know she discovered the hex.
Because she's a tertiary character.
But it's a TV show. But that doesn't mean that she doesn't have to have one here. She's a character here. She should have an arc. Like, all of them need to have an arc. And
she's
all
already
did,
good.
Right?
And then what, in 3 episodes, she's going to be better?
In 3 episodes, I would imagine a complete arc. Yes. Like, they all had arcs. Like, fucking Hayward did. Monica did. They just did not feel complete or satisfying or necessary. Like,
so this is the same critique that I have with Spider-Man over 4 years or 4 movies.
Sure. Sure. It's
but you say he doesn't need an arc.
Pretty much the same thing. No, but I disagree that he doesn't have one. I think he does. But, like, I say that he doesn't need the rapid, crazy amount of character growth in comparison to, like, Captain America. Like, I don't think
Darcy
it needs
does
that.
when it's, like, literally 3 days. This happens
She needs a story arc. She doesn't even necessarily need character development. I'm not talking about character development. I'm talking about a story arc. This literally happens,
like, over a week.
Yeah. I am talking about a story arc. From the beginning of a season, each character should have a story arc that is satisfying and complete. And I don't feel like every character did. And that's okay. It's still a good show. Still quite enjoyed it. But I just don't feel like every character did. Specifically Darcy in the finale, because literally she just hit fucking Hayward with a truck and was like, yeah. I don't remember her line, but she had like one line.
Her character has always been the comic relief.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Again, I'm not wanting character growth. I'm not wanting a character change. I'm just wanting an arc. Like more of a complete arc.
I just don't understand. But that's why I want it more quantifiable.
Like, I don't know, be in the finale for more than 2 seconds. Seriously, if she was there for, like, I don't know, 5 minutes of screen time, would have felt more satisfying, more complete. Like, if she was there doing something.
It's only like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. How many, like, Monica, I feel like, probably had 5 minutes of screen time.
5 minutes now.
Well, however much Monica had. Maybe a little bit more than that. I feel like all, like, Jimmy,
but also
Monica, Hayward, and Darcy should all have that kind of, like, they were the same level of character. And I feel like they all were doing and having their own little arc. And in the end, they were just, like, one in vision, which is fine. Totally fine. But, like, it wasn't that way leading up to it, if that makes sense.
I do not understand, and I do not agree. Because
it's fair enough. It's fair enough. You do what you gotta do. You know?
The only thing that
I just gotta make it known.
For one, this whole episode was very action heavy, so you're not gonna have a lot of exposition. It's a lot
but,
of
like saying that this is what it was as like an excuse doesn't excuse what it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm
it
saying
doesn't.
I'm not talking. I'm just saying that this episode was a lot of action,
Yeah.
not a ton of exposition. Even the only exposition was with Wanda and with Vision.
Yeah. And just to be clear, definitely not asking for exposition. It's way too late for exposition. I'm asking for dialogue, like any sort of meaningful being there in the moment. That's it. Like, I don't even know. Did Hayward? Well, he did have some lines because he had this scene with Jimmy. But like, think about the fucking, like, I don't know. There's weird things of production in like the final episode specifically that makes certain characters feel like a less satisfying conclusion. Like, think about the whole bit where the military rolls in and then they eventually start like fighting Wanda and Vision and the two kids, right? And like the kids, one of the kids, I don't know the name of the speedy one. He runs around, grabs all the guns, puts them down or puts them somewhere. And then Hayward like gets out of the car, just fucking starts shooting at the kids, by the way. It's wild. But like just starts fucking shooting at. He doesn't say anything, which is like fine. I wouldn't expect anyone to say anything, I guess, in that moment. But it was so like very weird of like he's there for a whole scene, says nothing. I don't even think there's any sort of grunt. Like he gets hit by the car and then he's just like looks over. Like there's no. It felt very weird and like, okay, we have to get Hayward and Darcy in here for like reshoots to like finish this final thing. And like, Darcy, you can say this one thing. Hayward, don't fucking say anything. We don't want to ADR or anything. Like, I don't know. It felt very weird with Hayward and Darcy specifically. Like, there were a lot of moments like that in the final episode that felt odd. Like, think about a villain in a Marvel movie. They're saying shit. He's not saying anything. He literally got out of a car and silently shot at two kids. It was weird. It was shot weird. That's all. But I'm focusing on the stuff I didn't like. There is a lot that I did like. I really did like the whole like Wanda and Agatha showdown. I thought that was cool. I thought the whole rune idea was really cool. I thought that was a clever fucking reveal. I really liked the scene with Vision and Vision talking. I thought that fucking scene and that dialogue was awesome.
That scene I have issues with the people with our friends that are saying certain things that Vision is coming back. I'm
interested in this.
Wholeheartedly disagree that he is coming back. They're like, oh, well, what made Vision is his memories. And I'm like, no, that's just data. That he just the fake Vision, the Hex Vision, unlocked the data that's stored locked. It doesn't make White Vision now Vision with feelings and like
no matter what,
like that
he's not going to be the Vision.
That was literally
Vision, you know?
the Mind Stone, and they're like, no, they were trying to see if he could survive with that, but it's like that is why. And people are like, well, in the comics, there was a Vision that didn't have the Mind Stone. I'm like, yeah, I know, but he's not the same Vision. Like, we're not getting Vision back.
There will be a version of Vision. 100%.
But it's not gonna. But he's not gonna be connected to Wanda. He's not. He's gonna have the memories of being connected to Wanda, but he's not gonna be able to feel anything.
I don't think you can confirm or deny if he's gonna have feelings up. I think it's totally possible.
He can't. Can nobody grasp that it doesn't matter what is in the body? The body was always a body because the body was for Ultron. But the thing that made, especially the thing that made Ultron was the Mind Stone. The thing that made Vision was the Mind Stone.
Infinity War, right? Think about Infinity War when literally the whole, like, there's a whole scene between Tony and fucking Bruce. What's the goddamn Hulk's name? Bruce Banner, right? Did I nail that? I think that's right. They were talking about how like Thanos is coming for the Mind Stone, and they were talking about what to do with Vision, and like they have a whole conversation about like Vision was made from my mind, from your mind, from like he's a complex mix and mash of all these things, and there's literally a line of like take out the Mind Stone, there's still a lot of Vision left. Like they've set
But
this up.
they just said it. No, they don't.
Then they were going to do it.
Like why did they
he
need
was
the
literally
Mind
taking a stand.
Stone to power, like to bring him to life?
Because that's how they made it. He very clearly evolved from when he was made to like where he is now.
Because of the Mind Stone, not because of
I
just
don't think
his.
that's a thing you can confirm.
No, but like, how would he have evolved with just man-made like vibranium? Because he's made of vibranium from Wakanda. That's it.
It's not just that. It's literally the artificial intelligence that they made him with.
No, but that's just Jarvis.
Okay. That's Vision. Like Jarvis then turned into Vision. The Mind Stone is definitely
how
part
did he
of
turn
it,
into
for sure.
Vision?
It is part of it, and the Mind Stone is part of it, absolutely. But literally, like they said in that scene, you take that out, there's still a lot of Vision left. Like I think they set that up. Like I think it's very possible that you're correct, but I don't think that's something that you can just be like, it's just the Mind Stone that made him have feelings. He's a robot. He got feelings. Like I don't think it's just from the Mind Stone that made that happen. I that's interesting.
So then why didn't Jarvis ever have, like, why didn't Jarvis ever evolve?
Because he didn't have a body. He didn't have the whole, like, when they made Vision.
It doesn't matter if you have a body or not. It's just the artificial
intelligence. When they made
intelligence.
Vision, they fucking clearly updated him from just Jarvis. Even the Mind Stone was there too.
I watched Age of Ultron very recently as well. And they were trying to figure out a way to just put Vision into this vibranium body that Ultron had.
Yeah.
And then they still couldn't. And then they were trying to power him up, and they still couldn't. And then Thor came down, smashed the Mind Stone on his head, and boom, Vision was born.
Okay.
But the thing is
yes, just
Jarvis.
because you needed Vision or the Mind Stone there at the beginning, I really don't think you need it at the end.
No, but that's what serves as his
it was his
consciousness.
life source. Oh, see, I don't know about that. It was very clearly like his life source, when Thanos fucking crumbled it.
And same with when Wanda
he went all gray.
He died.
Yeah, sure. That was definitely, but very clearly, like, Vision needed that to be alive, to be powered, to be on in some form or fashion.
And
this one does not need that.
Like freely, when you think about Jarvis,
don't know if that's true.
But Jarvis never did.
Jarvis was a voice. Jarvis was
he's still a voice he's just a robot. He was a robot in Tony Stark's armor.
Sure.
And now he's a robot in a body of vibranium. Still the same mind, but the thing that changed it was the Mind Stone.
Sure. I think the Mind Stone,
you have a connection with Wanda because of the Mind Stone.
Okay, sure. There's like, I will say, even though he doesn't have the Mind Stone now, and even if that is all true with like, that is the reason why he has feelings, which I don't know if that's the thing we can confirm. But if that is true, I can still see them going down that line because like he got the White Vision got Vision's memories back basically. And he was like, I am Vision, and then flew away. In that scene there, like I could totally see them when they do get to White Vision eventually. He's definitely still not going to be the same Vision. He's going to be different. But like, I could see him having feelings because he does have the memories from when he had the Mind Stone and from when those feelings happened and he saw himself evolve. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like, memories are a big part of creating who you are.
But he doesn't have like
I think you're thinking
the
very
self-awareness of those feelings. He has the memories of those feelings, yes. Memories are just data, and he can now see the data, but he can't process those feelings.
You could be correct. I don't think there's any way to know yet, and I don't think that they're going to do that. Just personally, as an opinion, Vision's going to be back, and he's going to have feelings. It'll be different, but he'll be back.
I don't think so.
Like, do you think that he's just gonna be a robot? Like, it's
No, I
gonna
don't
be
like
the white.
Vision is like obviously there is a Vision, but I'm talking about like the Vision from Age of Ultron.
Well, yeah, no, it's not gonna be that for sure. But I do think he will have feelings.
I don't think so. Because also I think that's too much of a too nice of a bow. Like
Yeah, but
Also,
it was a nice bow to wrap him up, but also it was very clearly like fucking Vision is gonna be back. Wink, wink. Literally, like
Ow.
I've been a memory in a body. I've been a blah blah blah. I've been blah, and then like who knows what I'll be next? Because he knows there's somebody else that he restored like it's very clearly a hint of like Vision's gonna be back.
I don't think so. I think that was just a nice way of saying goodbye. It's just
know.
like
Why
yes,
would he say who
'cause
knows
then
what I'll be
the same
next?
with when Wanda's was because that's just what do you
That
mean?
line is meaning. That line is meaning. Let's say that is a hint.
I don't think that's a hint.
All right, it's fair enough. But I think I might side. I don't think I side with your friends on this who were saying the other thing. I think it literally could be either, but I don't think there's any way to know at the.
I think
this current
the
moment.
white Vision will be a Vision. He's not going to have like feelings for Wanda. He'll have memories of having feelings for Wanda. He's not going to. I think that serves as a conflict because if you bring the same Vision back and he's like, oh yeah, I still love you, Wanda. Then it's just like, oh cool, now they're happy.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that either. I think it's going to be in the middle. I think he's still going to be struggling with how to figure that out and how to process that, but he will. Like he will, and we'll get there.
Is where do you put that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know when that is going to be.
Like
timing-wise.
it's just too. Because like he's not going to be in Multiverse of Madness. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Just
Which would have been cool.
But like, I don't think he serves a purpose there. I still feel to this day that, and especially
Depends
from
on how
the
they're gonna
end
do White
credit
Vision.
scene, the two end credit scenes. For one, I'll just go on record and saying her outfit, fucking 10 out of 10.
Oh, dude, so good. Yeah,
So
Wanda's out. I was like,
good.
fucking awesome.
I was like, man, it is perfect.
Nailed
It's
it.
like, it's modern. It's not cheesy.
Fucking baller,
it's just
dude.
so good.
and I was thinking the whole time, like, how are they going to do that and it not be
'Cause it is a cheesy
Because I
outfit.
knew they were going to do the goddamn outfit, but it is a cheesy outfit. And I was like, how are they going to do that? And they fucking did it. I was like, oh my God.
With the hair, and I'm like, oh man,
Perfect.
She looks so good. Okay, so that is
It
amazing.
was really good.
But then, so the
Quite
end credit
enjoyed that.
scene when she is, so which was the real her? I don't. Which was the
Oh,
projection?
in that end credit scene, I imagine the
is-
real her was the one walking around. I imagine that is her being able to tap
in the
into the
mind,
real Scarlet
Darkhold?
Witch.
the Darkhold.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
Oh, also, apparently, I didn't notice this, but apparently, because I guess it's been a long time since I've watched Doctor Strange, but apparently there's Doctor Strange music playing there.
all right.
Like, his theme is in that scene.
Well, they do say, and like, so I sort of knew this when people were like, "Oh my God," they said that she is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, I thought that was like in Endgame." I thought the Russo brothers said that Wanda was the
They
most
did,
powerful.
but it's definitely
Avenger
not something that's been, like,
said in the
clearly
movies.
established in the universe, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, outside, we do know that Wanda's, like, extremely powerful, but we haven't really seen that too
most
much. Until
powerful.
now, when she literally created a separate reality. Like, you know?
So I still kind of feel that they're setting up her to be not a villain, but like almost a Thanos type villain, where she's doing things that she thinks is right, but is causing destruction. So like when she's looking at the
know
Darkhold,
what
you
they're
hear
gonna do
both of
with
her
her.
kids. So I really feel that she's trying to
It's trying to
rip
get him
apart
from another
dimensions.
multiverse. Let's go.
Yeah, she's
She's
trying to rip
doing.
apart
She's literally
multiverse.
doing what's the guy's name in Into the Spider-Verse? The big old dude, you know, the one in
Kingpin?
Daredevil. Kingpin. There we go. He's literally doing what Kingpin did with his family in Into the Spider-Verse.
So she's trying to do that to get her kids back. I don't know, maybe Vision back as well. I don't know. That's complicated. But, excuse me, she's trying to do that. I predict that She's going to start tearing holes in the dimensions, which we'll probably get to see a bit of in Spider-Man first with the two other Spider-Man. And so like Doctor Strange will have to try and roll her back. And so he'll be like maybe fighting her, and then Mordo will do something as well. I don't know. Mordo's going to be in Doctor Strange too. Like it's too stupid to like have a post-credit scene and not have him even be in it.
It would be uncharacteristic of the MCU so far.
Yeah, like everything's had a payoff eventually.
Yeah.
So I think
I don't know.
And so I think that like
I hope so, but
she's gonna be somewhat of not a villain, but just like an antithesis of Doctor Strange. And now that we know that she's more powerful, he's gonna, I don't know.
I could see them doing that, but I don't know. I think they could do that, and I think that'd be interesting. It is very odd, kind of, where she left it. Like, all things considered, she felt bad, but like, I don't know. It was still, she was left kind of on a villain path in a way. Like,
it's tough. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about the city of Westville because like when the Hex left, it looked so shitty, and people were like, "Man, Wanda did them a favor." Because like it was a nice looking town, and it looks like shit. And people are like, "Man, why did people were like, oh, why did Vision buy a house next to Ralph Boner?" And like all of this stuff, and it's like, well, one, he bought that house 5 years ago, before the snap.
I've seen a lot of people getting mad at the Ralph Boner thing and that he wasn't X-Men, by the way. And I'm like, come on, really?
I was scared when it was gonna, like when it first happened, and then I was like, no, they're just fucking with us. And I'm like, I'm all for that. I'm all for like just Easter egg. It's just a fun little quick gag.
I did like the reveal too of just like the nice to meet you, Ralph.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh god,
cute.
that was so good.
Yeah. I did enjoy that.
I think it's for character growth, Wanda takes the cake. In a big way,
yeah,
I feel.
For sure.
Oh, people were saying
just like
I was talking with Vizzy and Stealth, and they were saying that they think that Wanda had powers before the Mind Stone.
I think it's more literally what Agatha said along the lines of like, you know, she had powers but hadn't really like tapped into them, you know.
But then people are going to start going off. It's like, oh, was she a mutant? But
no, I
don't think she had powers because they're like, oh, well, you don't think that she stopped the bomb that was in front of her and Pietro? And I'm like, no, I think that was just a dud. Yeah. That was a dud to serve as a reminder of them staring at Stark Industries for days and hating Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Especially because that bomb just like dropped. She wouldn't be able to control anything.
Yeah. No, it's not, I'm not even saying like, I think people who think that's an interesting thought, but like, I don't think she had any powers that she was even able to use. I think she had the ability for it to be manifested. That doesn't mean that she's a mutant.
It's kind of like
an Inhuman, but
yeah, it's kind of like the Inhumans, because weren't the Inhumans like descendants of the blue people?
I think so, technically. I don't know.
I
don't know. That's some relation with Kree.
That's why they could hold, or that's why when they like...
Man, there's a lot of that in there.
They could turn them into Inhumans. Even though they were human, they could... Everybody who was like actually human would die. Yeah,
that's the like Genesis thing.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like that. I could see that. I don't know. I still think the Mind Stone, because like the Mind Stone showed her the Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean there's. It seems like the Scarlet Witch is a thing that shows up throughout time that a person has. I imagine it's like a thing that is reincarnated. It's the fucking Avatar, but you don't know that you have it. And Wanda had it and had it activated by the Mind Stone. Whereas maybe normally the witches like seek out the person that has it and they find that person and then teach them or kill them.
No, they kill them.
That's possible.
Because remember, her own.
That
her
is
own
true
little
because they're like
nightmare-
the chaos.
Her nightmare
magic
turned on herself.
Yeah, that is true.
Cool.
But maybe I think that's probably what it is. And I think they probably will go into it more. I don't know exactly where, but it seemed like there was a lot of lore there that they were kind of going to go into.
Obviously, like Doctor Strange will probably know a lot about the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, maybe that's actually where where it's explained is where Doctor Strange literally explains the Scarlet Witch. That would be cool. I could see.
We shouldn't have to wait for personally, I would skip what is it? No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. Go straight to Doctor Strange.
What a name. I love how they did Homecoming and then they were like, Far From Home, we're making this a bit. And then we're like, we're sticking to it.
That was a contractual thing. They all have to have home.
That it had
they all have
to
to have
be
home in the title.
Why?
It's like in a contract somewhere in Sony.
That's so weird.
It's so stupid. It is so...
Why would they? I don't know. That's funny though.
But yeah, because I want to. This almost feels like a Captain Marvel, like Spider-Man No Way Home feels like Captain Marvel, where it's like it's not going to have any pressing. At least I don't think it will. I could be wrong.
No,
it's not really going to have any pressing.
Oh well, actually, to be fair,
with the double,
it's leading into Multiverse of Madness. So with the whole Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield,
if they are, and if they are.
If Tom Holland was lying to us.
If he was lying. If he was lying, he loses all of his credibility.
He better have been lying.
I know.
He has to be. There's no way. There's no way that Jamie Foxx and
how funny
Doc
this
Ock...
is. So we heard rumors that they were going to be in. And we're hoping that they're going to be in. And then Tom Holland says that they're not going to be in. But we want it so badly that we're like, oh, we hope you're lying. Because we want this to happen so badly.
That's fair. But
then if they're not in,
sense that the villains are there and not them. You know what I mean? Literally, Jamie Foxx as Electro. Those were like confirmed. I don't know if they were confirmed literally by the studio, but they were like very credible rumors
by the actors that released themselves.
Yeah. And the Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. Like if those were there and not the Tobey Maguire and Andrew, I don't know how you do that. I mean, I guess you could, but like. Why? You know, you do cool cameos to be like, fuck yeah, hype, let's go. And if you do a cameo, but it's like a meh cameo, why bother? Yeah. You know? You gotta go big or go home on cameos.
Like if they are gonna be in it, because if you're looking with the story, a good way to tie that, like put a Band-Aid on the Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And now everybody knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Man, nice that ending, I forgot about that.
A nice Band-Aid to put on that is to somehow the multiverse opens, another Spider-Man, different looking Spider-Man, and so Peter Parker can just be like, "Hey guys, it's me, Peter Parker," and then Spider-Man swinging around.
Hey guys,
and then people are like, "Oh, true. Then he was lying."
Can't be you. Can't be you. Even though it's a different costume, can't be you, dude.
But yeah, it could be like nice change of costume.
Yeah,
He's still swinging around.
It's true. It's true. They wouldn't think that there are multiple Spider-Men. They don't know. True.
So like,
dude,
I do that.
Oh my god.
I'm cautious about that movie because Spider-Man 3's. Actually, there's only been one.
Yeah,
but it was bad.
It's true. Fucking, I forgot about that moment in the post-credit scene until just now. My theater lost it when J.K. Simmons came on. They were like, "Oh my god!" It was so great.
This is so
cool.
Nuts.
Yeah, it was. I remember being like, "No fucking way they did that."
Like, what awesome. A cliffhanger! And it's like we're not getting another Spider-Man movie for like years when that happened.
And that was a really good like. Okay. I think we should also talk about the credits, the end credit scenes too, because this ties into the end credits on WandaVision. But like in general, end credits can be like, "Oh, it's good," or like, "Oh fuck," and that one was more of the "Oh shit," because sometimes you expect just like a fun little shawarma or something like that.
The shawarma one
sometimes you get Thanos.
It's still up there though because it's just like. it allows everybody to breathe. But I guess they
Yeah.
had two, right?
I think
Avengers had
technically,
two.
I don't
the shawarma
remember,
and then
but I think
Thanos.
so. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like there are two types of end credit scenes, and they're either like the joking ones or like the oh fuck. But I don't know. I will say personally, I liked the end credit scenes in this, but like they could have been better. But that's just like I'm
I like the
nitpicking
end
at that
one.
point.
I like that one because I'm just like got to see Wanda in her.
I think I had
costume
my
again.
hopes too high.
Got to see her reading the Darkhold, which no human
cool.
can do except for like the Ghost Rider and some android. And so I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that is actually very cool.
The Skrull
fucking
one
shield background.
was okay.
It's fine.
It was also it led me to like the Skrull end credit scene in Spider-Man where Fury was like, no, it wasn't Fury just like always a Skrull.
No,
and then-
in that movie.
In that movie.
Yeah.
Well, this is the
I
thing.
thought you
is
meant in general.
Stealth thinks that the real Nick Fury died, and that this Nick Fury has always been a Skrull.
Huh.
I don't think so.
I mean, I guess he could, but that'd be weird.
No.
That'd be a weird choice.
it's very weird
Story
because
wise, it'd be weird.
yeah, I'm just trying to
You
think
could
of
do
all
it,
the instances
but-
he's been in after he supposedly died.
When is he saying that he died? What, Winter Soldier when he faked his death?
Yeah, I think so. because
Stealth thinks he died and they replaced him with a Skrull.
with a Skrull, and like he's just
Even though
always
he
been
was
a
sitting in
Skrull.
like a bed, in like a hospital bed, like even though.
I can't remember when he's,
Huh.
but it's somewhere in between there. It's like after the fall of Shield. So yeah, pretty much Winter Soldier.
I mean, fair, I guess.
Very
but
weird.
I don't think so. But
He
no, I
would-
mean
he
Nick
would
Fury is
have
up
the
there
pager.
for Secret Wars. That's like
he would
where
know
he's
Captain
going to be.
Marvel.
Oh yeah.
But I feel that's so empty. If he did die, I don't mind them
it's
being
pointless.
their two
It's stupid.
Furies. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean he fucking I don't know remember the name of the Skrull, but the Skrull that was impersonating Nick Fury and fucking Maria
Dude from Star
whatever
Wars.
the fuck. Yeah, dude, sure. Like
From Rogue
those two Skrulls there in Far From Home were just impersonating them, and they were sent there by Fury. Like that's the story so far that we know. I mean, it could be something crazy like that, but that's what we know. And I was gonna say, I think I just had my hopes too high for the end credits. I enjoyed them, and they were what I thought they were gonna be, like setting up another Disney Plus show and especially with Monica, I figured it would be Secret Wars, and then setting up Doctor Strange 2. But like I was expecting, instead of just like Skrull and Book and Doctor Strange music, I was kind of expecting like Nick Fury or Benedict Cumberbatch. Like I was expecting one of them. But it's
that's a
fine.
lot. Like Elizabeth
why
Olsen,
not? They're gonna
Paul
be in the
Bettany,
shows.
they are movie stars, but it's still very tough. Like you got the
Nick Fury's going to be in Secret Wars.
Samuel L.
though.
Jackson and Benedict Cumberbatch. Those are big names.
It's true, but like at least Samuel L. Jackson is signed up for a Disney Plus MCU show, so like as a lead, so like
We
it's
really
possible.
I love Nick Fury. I just want the old guard to die. Like
See, I don't, because they're all so
not
already
physically
dead.
die, but just like die off. It's the same with Star Wars. Like I wanted Luke, Leia, and Han to just fuck off and be in the universe, but the story's not about them.
But it hasn't been about Nick Fury or anyone from Shield in
I know,
so
but, like,
long.
unless it's-
The one thing for me
But what would
with
the
Shield,
Nick Fury show be about?
Secret Wars, he's a lead in that show.
But he's not.
He's
like,
up there with
lead,
the Skrulls.
Because it also has Captain Marvel and Monica and hopefully
Yeah.
Quake. So those I think
Yeah.
I feel that those three are going to be the.
I mean, he's supposed to be like one of the main characters.
He's still just
from
Nick
what I
Fury,
know.
who doesn't really. He's the.
Yo, Nick Fury rules. Don't badmouth Nick Fury. He's great.
I'm not
I love
bad mouthing
Fury.
Nick Fury. I'm just saying that like he doesn't do anything that much.
Yo, you remember that car scene in Winter Soldier? Pretty
Isn't
dope.
that his own? He's
Pretty
had his
cool.
moments, but I mean like he's not.
I mean, even
He's a
just being a
catalyst.
hype man, you know? It's true.
He's a catalyst for the Avengers, and he's a hype man. But that's why I don't want like a Nick Fury show where it's just like him in retirement.
And they're not going to do that. I mean, there's going to be a lot of other stuff going on there for sure, but he is supposed to be like one of the main characters in that show, from if I remember correctly. But I was going to say, fucking, I get what you're saying about the old guard needing to die off, and I do agree to an extent. I just wish that there was more of a like fucking bridging the gap or somewhat of a replacement of that role and organization and character. And there kind of has been, but in a weird sort of pacing way. Like SHIELD just kind of as a concept and in the movies and whatnot was huge and played a huge, very important role in those early movies. And then kind of just like, we forgot about them. They don't exist.
Well,
like just kind of
because Hydra.
Because of Hydra, sure.
Yeah, Hydra was
but
all
like,
up in there.
I don't know. I was hoping that there would be kind of like more of an acknowledgement of the past, if that makes sense. Like more of an acknowledgement of where it kind of came from. It's kind of weird to me that even Nick Fury as a character weirdly kind of died off in like a like. Ooh.
And then you see
like
him
he was like there.
Endgame. You see him in
Like
Endgame at the funeral, and you're like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I know, and that it shouldn't be like that. There should have at least been the fact that he is there and does still exist and is still alive in the universe, and clearly like still doing stuff because he's dealing with Skrulls. So like he had something going on, but like I wish there was a sort of like reminder or some sort of acknowledgement that he is still alive, like. And exists, because it was a moment in Endgame where he is at the funeral, and you're like, and a lot of people literally are like, oh yeah, he's still alive. I don't think that should have happened for someone who played such a pivotal role in the early movies.
I don't think so, because like his whole job was to like create the Avengers to protect Earth and to protect Earth from like so many things. And he's created this group of people like Doctor Strange now, and then you got Ant-Man, you got all of these people that he can step back and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go to space and help another.
He's got other shit going on. I guess.
The Skrulls knew him from the '90s, so the Skrulls could have contacted him through Captain Marvel and be like, you know what? We need your help.
And to be fair,
and he's like, Earth is fine. Look at all the heroes on Earth. Earth is fine. Yeah. I don't need to be.
And to be fair, a lot of people probably didn't have the, oh shit, Nick Fury, because Captain Marvel was right there, so you were reminded of Nick Fury, and I think that was kind of on purpose because he hadn't seen Nick Fury for so long.
But he was like the last person to like they show in the funeral, because he is like, it did. Yes, I do agree. He did start with him. He is very important, but I think like he's created this huge group of people who will protect Earth, and now he doesn't need to give them orders. He doesn't need to. He's like,
it's true.
It's just kind of
odd. Yeah, and that's fine, and that makes sense on a story perspective. It does.
It's like
but it's just like I wish
he gave SHIELD to Philip.
I wish there genuinely was more of a like, I am going to step back and let you guys do your thing, instead of just kind of like, oh, fade away. You know what I mean?
I don't think everything needs to be told.
It's true, but I like good send-offs, you know?
But that's the thing, is I don't think he has a send-off, because he's going to be... It's not... Like, a good send-off is the Captain America send-off.
Yeah.
Good send-off
but
is...
But, I mean, not even a... I guess
that's
I like
actually the only good send-off.
Transitions that make sense.
The good send-off is Yondu. That's a good send-off.
I mean, I'm not talking about deaths. I'm just talking about, like, for that time, he's very clearly fading off in the background. He will come back, sure. But he did, cheesy? Like you were saying, he did leave them up to basically do their own thing. But I wish that was more of a, like, leaving you guys up to do your own thing. It was just odd that Fury, as such an important character, just pieced out.
I just think
that's all.
That would be a little cheesy, especially for his character.
You could have done it without it being cheesy. It's definitely possible.
His character's badass. He's just gonna be like, you know what? Whatever. You guys got this. I'm out. Yeah.
I still think it's weird, but it's okay. We're getting him. He's still alive. He's coming back. He's gonna be in Disney Plus show. Fucking next week is a Wanda Vision documentary, which is really cool. I really didn't know that was happening until recently, so that's exciting. I like behind the scenes kind of stuff. And
Also,
then-
Agatha kind of just
That was fucked up, by the way.
it was fucked up, but also it's just like I don't understand that because there's no hex. So like so she's just gonna be under mind control in that house forever?
I guess so. I guess just in that actual neighborhood, you know.
So then people
You don't have to have a hex to mind. I mean, technically, think about it. I mean, fucking Age of Ultron didn't want to like mind control people then.
Yeah, but they broke out of it like soon.
She's clearly stronger.
I just don't. That character, I felt, I didn't like. I didn't like the reveal. Because then the episode ended. And then I liked that second episode with going through Wanda's past and then like showing Agatha her origin. And then in the last episode, it was just kind of just like.
I wanted more explanation / lore of Agatha because it was very like they did the whole like scene of her with the other witches and whatnot, but it's still kind of like, I mean, okay, she's a witch with the other like she absorbs powers, got it. Like,
and like
she just wants Wanda's powers. Okay,
because like
it did seem like they were setting that up to be more of an intricate kind of thing, and in the end, it was very simple.
It was very simple, and I'm just picking apart the timeline because like they got there fairly early, I think, like the military, and then like they set up the TV and stuff. But like Agatha, how did she know that hex was there right away?
I mean, she's a witch. That's a pretty easy. Like, you know, you gotta assume that she's tracking power somehow. She's got a power radar.
I still
her
just
and
hope,
Scratchy or whatever the fuck the rabbit's name was.
I really hope that.
I remember
we didn't get any
fan theories.
Mephisto. We didn't get any.
True.
Oh, the fan
There were
theory
fan
was like
theories of
Mephisto
that.
was the cockroach, right?
There was either that or I heard some people thinking he was gonna be the rabbit. I was like, nah.
I'm upset, not upset, but I'm just like, oh, I wish we got Mephisto. I wish we got even just a hint. I would have loved the theory of like Quicksilver was Mephisto the whole time. That would have been cool. Yeah. Even if Agnes or Agatha was working for Mephisto and like.
That was the theory early on, at least. Or when she was first revealed, I guess.
And yeah. But it was good.
I personally am okay that they did not do any of the like fan theories. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with how it ended with Wanda and Vision and whatnot. I really liked where they left Vision in general as a like how that Vision got a send off and got like fucking what a great scene. Got a great like goodbye.
He fucking cried.
The scene of him talking to the other Vision was great. Like really good fucking dialogue. I thought that was awesome.
At first,
and
it
then
was a little bit
leaving
of a Martha.
Vision. What?
It was a little bit of a Martha moment.
A little bit.
When he's like,
bit.
what does he
Elaborate.
say? He's like, I request elaboration.
But I'm not the
and I'm
true
like, oh my
Vision.
God.
Legitimately, I was like, oh, that's very CW.
so close to like, Martha, how do you know that name?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I pick apart some of this is there were some moments that genuinely did like make me go, ooh, it's very Arrowverse. Ooh. But just in certain moments, like that one where he was like, I think it was literally like, but I'm not the true Vision if I'm not blah blah blah. And he's like,
I do like the two ships though.
I did like that. That's what I'm talking about with that discussion.
Sense,
that
like
analogy
both
was
Vision
really cool.
And neither of us are Vision. And
Yep.
like, yeah, I understand
Really cool.
that. And that's why
And I like leaving a Vision off going doing their own thing, but like and leaving it up to speculation as to how they are going to deal with that, but clearly they are going to deal with that in some way. I think that's cool. I will say honestly was a bit confused when he was like, I will give you your memories, blah blah blah, I will unlock this data. And then that Vision was like, I am Vision, and flew off. And then what I thought was going to happen, which I guess is stupid in hindsight, but in the moment, I thought he was like, I am Vision, I'm going to go help Wanda. And
that's the
like,
other thing, yeah. It's like you got all these memories back and you fly off.
Yeah, like the whole time when he was talking to when the Vision that we know of from the show goes back and starts interacting with Wanda again, has the whole like discussion there, and they have the whole final scene and whatnot all throughout, from when he rejoins her to when he fucking evaporates. All throughout that, I kept being like, but you're not gonna go away. You're not that one. You're the new robot. And then I was like, no, I guess he's not. Guess that is the okay. and then I guess the other one's just off somewhere, doing whatever.
Yeah,
weird, but it's fine.
So many questions. They just leave us with more questions. We won't know until
it was
2023.
very good. Personally, and I'm even great, but just personally, I'm not on the like, holy shit, fucking incredible, fantastic, perfect.
That's what you're
like.
gonna
I saw
be
somebody
like
literally
when Falcon and Winter Soldier come out, and then I'll be like, it was okay. It was a bunch
maybe.
of action
It's
and a bunch
possible.
of dudes punching other dudes. That's the show.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
I
what
don't
it's gonna
know.
be.
But if it fucking all the characters end in a good spot, then very possibly. But like. I did really like it, but I have seen some people being like, that's a perfect season of television. I'm like, oh, I don't think so. I don't know.
That's pretty great.
Quite good.
Like,
I thought so too. It was pretty great. And I do think what they did with the format of the show was super fucking cool and unique.
it made you care about Wanda when I don't think a lot of people did, but from before.
Yeah.
I did. Like, Wanda's
true.
always been one of my favorites ever since, I think Civil War. But I don't think a lot of people like Wanda that much. Also, everybody just has a problem with Elizabeth Olsen and her accent, and I'm like, it is what it is. She has it. It's there.
It happened.
I don't care. The accent is not her character. It's what it. It's just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of weird, but it's okay. It's fine. Not a big deal. I'm excited for more MCU stuff. I am very excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier, just because I've always liked Sam as a character. I think he's great. Like I've always thought he was cool. And I just in Civil War, I'm simple, but in Civil War, I always liked the fucking jokes between him and the Winter Soldier.
Bucky.
You know, like I always loved the could you move your seat up? And he's like, no. Like, it was great. Just simple stuff like that. And now
they have good rapport.
Absolutely. And I'm excited about that. And just in general, the trailers, fucking awesome trailers. They're just so good.
I wonder if they're going to
excited.
be like full length episodes, because there's only 6, I think.
Oh, I have actually. I don't know how long the show is.
I think there's only 6 episodes, and I don't know how long that they're going to be. But
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, it is. It's 6 episodes. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is scheduled to premiere on March 19th and will run for 6 episodes until April 23rd. What's after that? What's after that?
Loki.
No way. Hold on. MCU.
Yeah, Loki's in June.
MCU shows.
So then we have a month, I think. Goes Loki,
That's wild.
and then Hawkeye, and then Spider-Man.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, let's see here. Loki. Okay, boy, fucking that doesn't give me a.
And we just breeze past the Snyder Cut.
No, we don't. We don't talk about that.
No.
Am I gonna watch that? God.
That's what JJ
I didn't
asked me
plan
last
on
night.
it, but now I'm
He's like,
fuck.
he's like, you know, you're gonna watch that, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna watch 3 hours of a shitty movie that I
4.
didn't like already. It's 4. Oh god, it's even worse.
4 hours. It's 4 hours.
No, I don't think I will. Like, you can't make that
I
movie
don't think
good.
I will. Captain America, end of
you-
Endgame.
I'm sorry, but you can't make that movie good.
I mean, you could, but it's not that way.
Not
It's
just
that
remaking
way.
a movie. Yeah.
No.
It's like also, you're gonna try and make me care about a Batman, and then in 2 years you have another Batman, a different actor, a different like tone, a different theme. You know how fucking
the
weird that
universe.
is? Yeah, it's not in the universe. That's so fucking weird. But yet you have a Flash movie that is set in the universe.
The people wanted it. Okay, they wanted the Snyder Cut. They demanded the Snyder Cut. And
We
people got what
wanted-
they wanted.
We wanted, like, if you're reshooting already, why would you reshoot with Jared Leto? Don't get me wrong, I didn't hate his Joker, but everybody else did. So then why would you reshoot with Why wouldn't you reshoot with Joaquin and put him in there?
Oh, because that movie was specifically like Joaquin Phoenix, I'm pretty sure said he was not doing any others. Like he's doing that movie and that's it.
No,
And I think even the director said that too, was like, we are not making sequels. This is not part of a universe. This is just this movie.
I don't know. I thought there was. I bet there will be a sequel to Joker.
Just maybe because
Money.
But they said that they were not going to. Like
There's
they
also
said
theories
their
about that
goal
where it's
was
like
to just do that.
he is not the real Joker. There was that theory. He was
I
like
mean, the theory is that
inspiration
isn't the
for
theory
Joker.
by the end of that movie is that none of that happened?
Yeah, that it was all in his mind because he's in the mental institution at the very end. Yeah, that as well.
Yep.
I don't know if
Yeah,
I really
I mean,
like that.
that's
That's a
why,
cop
like-
out. I hate that kind of shit.
Fair, but like I thought it was pretty clear at the end where I was like, oh damn. And that's why I was like, that's a one. That's a one movie.
No, that's so dumb. Where it's just like, hey,
Yeah, but it was still a
how do
good
we tie
movie.
this up? How do we end this? Oh, hey, it never happened.
But I think they ended it well in general of like that story in that movie was ended pretty good. And then that like him being in the mental institution was a like an added like that didn't even you could have put that in like a post credits, you know? That was a good movie in general.
I don't know how I want. It'd be weird to have that Joker in another movie.
Yeah.
Like with
That's
Batman.
why I don't think they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
One of the reasons.
It was a great movie. I just, I want DC to be like Marvel, and they just never will, and it's sad.
No, you gotta give it up. As literally a DC fan, I've read way more DC comics than Marvel comics. Like it's
I've heard
over.
Superman and Lois is
It's
good,
over.
though. Or at least it's all right.
Oh, I should watch that. Honestly, apparently Flash came back, so that's something
last
that I
season?
might continue to
Cross
put
with me
myself
last
through.
Supergirl is for the last season, and Spider-Man and Lois is going on hiatus after like 2 episodes. So
Yeah, I
that's
saw that, and I was
Supergirl.
like, what the
and I'm
fuck?
like, what?
Didn't I tell you that when the Flash came back, I was not watching it? Didn't I say that? I think I said that.
I
I'm
think
gonna
so.
fucking do it, aren't I? What's wrong with me? It's bad. I gotta stop. It's
They
bad.
just stop. They just stop. I stopped on the season of his daughter.
That's a fair place to stop, to be honest. You're okay. You didn't miss much.
Nothing after that.
You had good shit up
Same with
until-
Arrow. I stopped after everybody blew up on an island.
Honestly, oh no way. The end of season 5?
Yeah.
I think so. Where they went to the island, right?
He's on a boat. He's on a boat with his son.
Yup. Tyson,
everybody blew up on an
you
island.
stopped at the perfect fucking time. I'm
I
telling
know.
you,
I know. You know.
season 5
It's a gift.
was incredible and one of my favorite seasons of TV. I legitimately love Arrow season 5. It's
didn't-
awesome. And then they kept making more.
Season 5, like Slade came back. Right?
He
No,
did
season
for
5?
a little bit. He wasn't like a main villain or anything, but yeah, he was there. And
But yeah,
season
he was- yeah,
5,
'cause I remember
the
him.
show is about like the 5 years he spent on Lian Yu, which a lot of it was not on Lian Yu. But season 5, they caught up to the present day in the flashbacks. They caught up. And like the way that final episode tied in with the flashbacks catching up, because he was on the island, and it basically literally caught up to him getting rescued in episode 1 of season 1. Like that was the end of the flashback there. And I was like, holy fuck.
That would have been a perfect place to just.
It would have been
end the
perfect.
show.
Legitimately, like, they did not need to keep that going. But like that finale was
Money.
dope. And like it was shot way better than any of the others too. Like there was a lot of cool cinematography. And the music was new.
I stopped watching shows at the perfect times
Yeah.
everywhere. I stopped watching Supergirl after the first
Same.
season after they got rid of Calista Flockhart, and I was like, "You're getting rid of Harrison Ford's wife?
I
Nuh-uh,
think-
not on
I think
my
I
watch."
watched a little bit into season 2, and I kept just being like, "This, I can't," and then I just stopped. I wanted to like that show.
I like all the actors.
Yeah, I really like Melissa.
They're all great,
But the writing was
but
writing was really bad.
in the CG.
I mean, CG at this point, when I watch shows like that, I just forgive. I'm just like, all right. But like the writing was so bad. Like, and what was funny was I kept watching episodes and being like, that was actually pretty good. And then the next one, I would be like, that was awful. It was terrible. And then that kept happening, and I was like, am I crazy? And I kept eventually I checked the IGN reviews, and they were saying the same thing, where they were like 8, 5, 7, 6.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I was like, oh god.
Also, you just have a shorter season.
Well, CW's never
Cut
gonna
all
do
the
that because
filler.
fucking they have 22 episodes in a fucking, except for with the 100 where they were like, oh, here's 16. It's annoying. Yeah. Now I'm just ranting
it was
about
good.
fucking CW and how I'm mad at them. But I should watch Superman and Lois, because not only I've heard that's the first episode was off to a good start. I do like that Superman that he's been in the past, and Diggle's gonna be in that show.
I don't get what they're doing with the redheaded.
Diggle's
Lois.
gonna be in that show as Green Lantern, by the way. Literally Green Lantern, which fucking fans have wanted forever, and then they teased it in the final
but Green
episode
Lantern
of.
on a TV.
Yeah, I know.
TV
I know,
dollar
it's fair.
budget. It's gonna look.
That's
like
why he's gonna be there
shit.
for one fucking episode.
It's gonna look worse than the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern
Again,
with a CGI
whatever.
suit.
I'm fine with the CG, just as long as it's written good and it's fun. I just let CW shows have a pass on the CG. Maybe Legends will come back at some point.
I do want to start. I do want to rewatch Riverdale.
Oh, God,
because I've heard that it gets so fucking crazy, like it's so stupid crazy that I'm like, you know what? I need some crazy.
Yeah,
in my
it
life.
seems wild from what I've heard about that show.
It's like, it starts off with like, hey, we're high school kids and we have crushes on. It's like Betty and Veronica. Oh no, there's Jughead and Archie, and it's like, oh, it's so kitschy and shit. And then it
literally turns
we're
into like
fighting
murder
underground
mysteries.
organization.
Yeah.
Like, isn't Archie like some sort of, he has like an army behind him or something? It's just so fucking weird. It is weird. There's a cult. And
I don't think I'm ever gonna.
I think Betty is like I might be missing this, but like Betty's like an undercover agent or something.
Doesn't
later
like
on.
Cheryl have like an underground like crime family? Like her family is literally like
Something like, yeah.
a crime family.
It gets so crazy. At least I've heard, and so
I almost started
I might
watching
just
it
binge a lot of
originally
that.
because I've actually, like, when I was a kid, I actually read Archie comics, so I almost started watching it
Oh, yeah,
because
same.
of that, and then then I heard what it actually is, and
I
was
watched
like,
the
"Oof."
first season. The first season was crazy, but it was believable. And then the acting in the second season, they were like, hey, you know how you acted in the first season? Now just double the expression. So they are like talking and they're just like, and it's just like cranked to 10. And I'm like, you guys are playing like 15 and 16-year-olds.
And they're all like 30.
It is weird. Yeah, they're all like in their 30s. That's the other thing is that I don't like about these kinds of shows is even though the actors are older, they're playing like teenagers, and then they have these like hardcore like sex scenes, and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm supposed
Do
to
they?
feel about this. In the second season, I remember like, is it Veronica and Archie? No, maybe
It is
Veronica
a
and
CW
somebody.
show.
But they like have a shower together and they're all like silhouetted, and I'm just like, wait, these kids are like in high school. Why are you even making this look? It's just weird. It's just weird.
You're right. You know what else is weird? The fact that we're ending the episode, because I don't know how long we've been fucking going. This is a long one. And I legitimately like,
Just watch
my
it.
voice
If you get to this spot, I should have put this at the beginning. Just watch at 1.5 speed. Podcasts are supposed to be played at 1.5 speed.
as somebody who used
almost
to
half the
do
time.
that, I disagree, but I totally understand why people would do
I
that.
agree.
I've done that before.
Yeah, you got to get all the content in.
God, but it's like so. It's so anxiety filled having to literally like listen, like the feeling the need to listen to so many podcasts that you have to listen at 1.5 speed to get all your content is like, it fucks with your brain.
We gotta start. I gotta start being. First, I gotta start being better at talking. I have to start being better at writing shit down, and then I'm gonna start putting the time codes in.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah.
Episode 14, we're learning.
Dude, fucking, this is a long one. If you watched all the way to the end, leave in the comments, Spider-Man's pretty cool.
Who your favorite? No, leave in the comments who your favorite Avenger is.
And if your answer is not Rocket Raccoon, then you're wrong. You're wrong. But yeah, sure.
If somebody puts Rocket Raccoon or any Avenger in the comments,
Yeah,
then we know.
there you go.
Then we know that they got
Rocket
to the
Raccoon
end.
or
Or they
any
skipped to the
Avenger.
end. I've literally done that. Because people at the beginning of YouTube videos are like, stay till the end for this, blah, 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 blah.
You're like,
and
fuck
then,
you.
And I'm just like, okay, fuck it. I'll just skip to the end. Don't tell me that.
Oh my god. What a rebel, what a fucking rebel. Well, this is it. I'm gonna go drink some more water, fucking rest my voice for stream tonight. But
I'm going to go for a run.
Man. I've gotten back on my working out again. I have not missed a day in the last 2 weeks, and I'm proud of it. Feel good too. I'm like, oh yeah, it's great. It feels good when you're actually doing your shit and working out. I forgot how it actually gives you energy. It's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. I didn't say this at the beginning. I wanted to talk about my weekend. I just went to the dog park with Ion. It was great. I haven't been to the dog park in months because it's fucking freezing. But today was actually pretty nice. And I was like, hell yeah. And I went out, there were a bunch of other dogs. That's my favorite thing, is I forget, having a dog means that I get to go to the dog park and meet other dogs too. So it's great. They're so adorable. And, dude, I am so proud of her. I think it's something about the winter and the fact that I work from home, but I feel like me and her literally have a stronger bond now than even a few months ago. I feel like something happened there. Cause when
she's imprinted on you. That's from Twilight.
Oh, interesting.
They imprint. But actually all animals imprint on.
Well, I should look that up because I don't know what the fuck that means. But
it's just it's just having a strong bond.
I've always wanted a dog that if I would never do this because it's polite and I think against the law sometimes to walk your dog without a leash. So I always will walk her with a leash. But I've always wanted a dog where if I wanted to in a certain space, I could just walk her with me and she'd just follow me. You know what I mean? And I always thought that would be insane and require an insane amount of training, and I'd never be able to do that. But when we went to the dog park today, I would literally just be like, come on. And she'd just walk right next to me. And I was like, holy shit. And there were a couple times where I literally told her to sit and gave her a few commands, and she did them. She never fucking does them at the dog park because she's always super distracted by smells and other dogs. She'll do them all here. When we're home, she'll sit, she'll lay down, roll over, everything. I learned the other day that apparently she knows that if I do that and say bang, she'll fucking flop. And I was like, what? I didn't know you do this trick.
She knows about guns.
America, dude.
Americans.
America. But a few times I would literally just be like, come on. And even just quietly or motion. And she's just follow me. Even at the end, I was scared she wasn't going to do it, to follow me over to the gate so that we could leave because I thought she might be like, oh, I don't want to leave, But she followed me all the way over there. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So that was really cool. And we haven't gone to the dog park in a long time, and we haven't gone on a hike in months. So I looked at the weather. Tomorrow it's supposed to be about 62 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. I'm sorry. But it's supposed to be pretty 70 degrees Fahrenheit is pretty where I keep my air conditioning at is 72 Fahrenheit. And then it's supposed to be 62. So it's just a little bit colder than the perfect weather. So I'm like, oh great. And I'm gonna go on a trail tomorrow. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So I'm gonna leave tomorrow at 1 and go on this one that's kind of takes you up to the top of a mountain. I'm excited. It's gonna be dope. Yeah.
Very nice.
Played some Minecraft. It's good. So all I really needed to do today was go grocery shopping, which I did. So, and I actually planned out my meals. So I'm good. I don't have to leave the house for tonight. It's 6:30. I'm going to go fucking do some laundry, I think, which is the only other thing I need to do. And then maybe play some Final Fantasy.
That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a run and I'm going to play Final Fantasy.
I think I am. There is still so many cool things going on with my channel and whatnot. I want to edit some stuff. So maybe I'll actually sit down and do that. But got some stuff I can do. So hell yeah.
Very nice.
And with that, I don't know, we're going to get out of here. Put your favorite Avenger down there, or Rocket Raccoon, preferably Rocket Raccoon, you know. Or Bradley Cooper. Just put Bradley Cooper in the comments.
He was better.
But we'll see you guys next week, next Monday. Bye.
Peace.